Hello. Welcome to session 2 of Outrunners, a Starscape actual play here on the Happy Jacks RPG Network. To find all the sessions of this game, you can go to happyjacks.org/Starscape. And to find all the things in the Happy Jacks Network, you can go to happyjacks.org. My name is Kimi. I am the GM and designer of the actual system for this game, which is very exciting. And content warning, this is a space adventure story. There might be some violence, there might be some sexual content, things like that. None of it will be explicit. We've decided it's like a PG-13-ish rating. And so if you're uncomfortable with any of those things, then beware. We do have safety tools in place. As always, we have the X card, we've done lines and veils, and hopefully we'll have a fantastic, fun game tonight. Let's go ahead and go around the table, and we can introduce our players and their characters. Who would like to go first? Everybody's in like rare form, like costume and stuff tonight. I love it. Why don't we start at this end of the table, since I just like love your bodysuit so much, Samantha.
That's me. Hi everybody, I'm Sam. I have an update in this part. I use she/they pronouns. Let's do that. Yay! And I play Nolvath, which is the unfamiliar playbook. They use they/them pronouns, and my character is camouflage, which is why I look like this.
Hi everybody, I'm Kai. I use he, they, and she pronouns. And I'm back playing Road Thelois, who is the civilian playbook who uses he, him pronouns, and is just here to vibe. Yep.
All right. Hi, everybody. I'm Jay, he, him, and I am playing Lieutenant Jonas P. Hurley, also he, him, the hotshot ace pilot of the crew. Ready to see what we're bringing onto our ship, I suppose.
And hi, everybody. I'm CADave. I and my character, Lawrence Benson. God, it's written.
It's so nondescript.
Normal human man.
So normal.
I can forget myself. We both use he, him pronouns. I am playing the outsider on the run from my people that want to eat the universe. And I think that maybe that's not the best way to do things. So I'm trying to see if we can figure something else out.
Yes. Does anyone want to do a recap, or I can do the recap? All right, I'll do it. So in session 1, you were on this planet that was very inspired, as I talked about on the podcast yesterday, by Topanga Canyon in Los Angeles. Very hippy-dippy. And it was called Hesquizo. And that was the planet. And it was basically this huge planet that had these massive trees everywhere, and with like crystalline leaves that kind of filtered the sunlight. So if you like stained glass vibes like everywhere, but like organic, and bright colors around the equator, kind of going to more muted tones as they get closer to the poles. Everyone lives like in like synchronization with, can't talk tonight, it's fine. It like with nature. It's like a great like technology based on their organic biomes. While you were there, you enjoyed some spa time. There was chill music everywhere. It was very relaxing, except to Lawrence, who just can't be happy.
I can be happy. This doesn't make sense.
While you were there, you were approached by Igram, whose name in their language means one that was born from golden roots. And they were trying to get off planet. They're like, we're just going, me and a couple of friends, it was a small number of people, are trying to go to a place called Lastu. And this is very strange. This person is very wealthy. And this is a very wealthy civilization. So even our pretty rich boy Road is like very comfortable. Like, I can stay in this hotel. It's all right. We can stay a little longer.
We can stay a little longer.
Yeah, it's beautiful. So it's a little strange that this privileged, like not definitely a full adult, but like a young adult-ish. I think we said like early 30s. Did we say that? I don't know.
Yeah.
Just barely old enough in their culture to kind of be on their own. is like, hey, I want to like leave for this random backwater planet where there's not really anything there. The last stew is basically like, would be the equivalent of like someone going to the wilderness to take pictures. No one ever really stays there. There's some interesting like biology, life, plant life, animal life that's there, but it's not really in a place, and it doesn't have any resources that make it a draw for people to like actually stay there. So it's a little odd that this very wealthy individual with no real working skills is like, I'm gonna go live here camping. So you're like, okay, fine, but they could pay. They paid the sort of somewhat heavy price of the specific petrol or combustible fuel that you wanted for your baby, Jonas, which is your little personal ship. And combustible fuel is very hard to come by on a planet that is mostly trees.
Yeah.
for very obvious reasons. They don't burn a lot of stuff. But they were rich and they had the connection, so they were able to get that. So they were paid their passage and got on your ship, loaded up all their luggage. There was
All of
a
it.
lot of luggage. You started heading out, scanning the luggage. Most of it is actually clothes and jewelry and just, rich people accoutrement. But you did discover that there is one large case that looks like it would generally be like something where you'd hang coats or dresses or something in for shipping, that actually has a sapling of one of these massive trees that is part of the biology of their planet. And then another case that looks like it's a jewelry case that has seeds, like these crystalline seeds. And this is a huge problem because this is a big law that they have on the planet that you're not supposed to remove any of these trees or so plant them anywhere else. They are very much a part of their culture. Like it's not quite a religion, but like it's that deep embedded and part of their belief and how they build their entire culture based on these trees. And also it's profitable. Like these trees are incredible and they bring a lot of tourists in. So being the only place in the universe that has them, it has its perks too. So this is why their civilization is very, very protective of these trees. And that's where we ended.
On a ship, going to our giant ship.
Yes.
And our passengers are blindfolded now.
Yeah.
Yes, that's right. I forgot about that part. And we said that there's Igram and
Two others.
two others. Yes. So there's 3 total.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we ended like literally just on the scan. And you were like, oh, okay.
Nolvath was down in the
Yeah.
cargo hold.
And you both were like, well, great.
Just sent everybody a surreptitious message with one word in it.
Crimes.
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 That's right.
That's right.
That's right. Crimes. We need that t-shirt.
Crimes, period.
Exclamation.
In a text bubble. Just-
Yeah.
yeah. That'd be awesome.
All right. So what would you like to do?
Well, I think I'd reply back with, like, what type of crime?
Oh wait, didn't I? I just texted that to
Yeah.
Road, and
Okay.
then Road
Oh,
texted everyone
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
to actually explain the problem.
Yeah.
And I checked in with you.
Yeah, and it was just kind of like, we're going to very carefully board our ship.
Yeah.
And then see if we can profit from this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Road does not understand why they're like, you can't have trees. And they're like, he's like, well, we'll see.
Mm-hmm.
So are we close to the Amber Star at this point?
Yeah, it
We're ready
only
to
takes
dock.
a few minutes. Now, those of you who are just tuning in, the Amber Star is this actual like massive like colony ship.
For us.
4 of them.
And our cows.
And your cows,
cows.
live in it together. Basically, they salvaged it.
And the slowly growing jungle.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's slowly growing jungle. It's massive. Like it's made for like
It's a city.
thousands of people. It is it's generation ship style size.
There might
Yeah.
be frozen people.
And a
in
few
it.
cryopods.
There are.
Yeah. Right now it's
Pods.
population question mark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or awake.
For question. The reason they're sticking with it is because the Fijian?
Yep.
Yeah, Fijian people. Lawrence is amazing. militaristic murder people are after the four of them. And for whatever reason, this ancient technology that the Amber Star uses, they're not able to track it as easily. So this gives them a big advantage. So generally what they do, they pop into a system because they use jump points here. They park it somewhere far enough away that maybe, hopefully, nobody notices. And then
It's
they
an
take...
untimely eclipse. Don't worry about it.
That's fine.
Yep.
And they take the shuttle down. But the Amber Star is mostly their biggest way of transportation and actually getting from like place to place in the galaxy.
Yeah, Road's ship can go like planet side to the ship and back, and that's it. If it tried to go too much further, it wouldn't go well.
No, it's not made for long
It's a
distance.
yacht, okay? It's for a day cruise.
It's a pleasure vehicle, not a utility vehicle.
Not at all.
Yeah. It's the equivalent of when you go to like a fancy like harbor or something. You see the rich people with like
It's a dinner cruise.
like sitting around with their little charcuterie board and some wine glasses, and you're like, I don't think that boat has ever seen an actual wave.
No, ever. And it's like the version of that, but also the intention of like a 1960s limousine as well. With like way too rich on the inside, mostly just for the wet bar, and that's the whole situation.
Yeah. Amazing. All right.
Well, why don't we get docked? And then we can get you situated as Road kind of spins around in the co-pilot seat to our lovely guests. And we'll get you situated while we offload your luggage. Wouldn't want you having to do any of that.
Oh, that would be delightful. Yes, thank you so much.
Perfect.
Are there snacks?
Oh, I'm sure we could.
Maybe slaughter a
Fine.
couple of the cows or something. I don't know.
I'm not fighting one of those cows.
How dare?
Let's not slaughter anything, please. No slaughtering.
We
It's
do
fine.
have plenty of vegetation.
Oh, excellent. All right. Well, maybe once we get on the main craft.
Oh,
Yes.
yes. Many
yes.
of the plants are edible.
Oh, excellent. Good. Yes.
Yes, Nolvath is very well acquainted with them. I'm sure something there won't be poisonous.
We have sampled most of them.
You have.
Yes.
I'm going to turn to Lawrence, and just between you and me, I say, "Hey, Lawrence, try to find them. Try to find them quarters that are easy to contain.
Absolutely.
And if we can find them quarters where their luggage might not all fit, requiring some of their bags to be placed elsewhere."
No,
I think
is
it might be a
cargo.
great
It should be
idea.
in a cargo hold.
Oh, good point. Good point. I will leave it up to you to tell them that.
I will handle it.
You're putting stuff in your cargo hold.
Mhm.
That's fine. I don't live in there.
I just envision those irising doors from the first Alien.
Oh, yeah.
And you're just like in the rafters.
Yes,
Oh yeah, no, that absolutely jump scares you guys
all the
for
time.
funsies.
Road is very jumpy.
Mostly Road, because it's funniest.
High-pitched screaming. So much screaming.
I think you've probably seen Lawrence like walking into rooms and doing the full doors and corners.
Uh-huh.
Right? Like everything.
Clearing the
like,
room.
every room, everything. Like we know there's nobody else walking around on this ship. But every time just
You know there's no one else walking around the ship.
Yeah, I
well,
feel like
last time I checked, like, hey, who knows when those pods will open. But
Yeah.
what? Never.
Oh.
All right.
Yeah, so Road is gonna start doing all of the like dongle flipping and things like that of this very manual ship
Mhm.
to help get Jonas ready to land us.
Sure. Yeah, I'll send a signal over. I'll send what is it? The docking codes over to the Amber Star and get us all situated to approach. And once we, if nothing else happens, I will pilot us in and land us.
Perfect. All right. Goes perfectly, of course. It's
Okay.
super easy. You've done this a million times for Powered by the Apocalypse type games, unless it's like unless it's going to change the story or there's
Sure,
a chance
yeah,
it might
yeah.
not happen. We don't bother to roll for it.
Yeah.
So you are literally the hot shot. So
Okay. All right.
like landing this is no problem. Now, if you had a bunch of drinks, then maybe, but no.
Right.
I think once the hangar door closes, Road looks to, because you're back now as well, right, Nolvath?
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
Just kind of glances at everyone and then kind of mimes the like removing of the blindfold with like a question mark behind it.
I give you a nod. Like I think at this point it's all right.
Friends, why don't you release yourselves from those unsightly, sightless things?
They do clash, yes. Thank you. They go and help each other. Oh,
Welcome aboard.
yeah, yes. Like they're kind of like walking out and
Yeah.
oh, this is unique. What?
Some ground rules. We're going to find you
Yes.
proper accommodations.
Look.
But in the meantime, why don't we get you with Nolvath to go find some of that food?
Yes. We can show you to the forest.
Forest. There's not
Aren't you
Restaurant?
accustomed to forests?
Farm to table.
Perfection.
No notes, actually.
No, that's like table.
Farm.
We may skip the table.
Oh,
So it sounds like you're getting a very genuine rustic experience here to kick off your journey, your little sojourn to what's the destination? Last two, I believe.
yes. Yes, I suppose so. We do have tables packed in the luggage if we need tables on the ship.
it's gonna take a moment to unpack it all. You see, this is a small journeying vessel. Wasn't quite ready for the plethora of pleasant things you've brought with you.
Right, yes. But this larger ship has tables, though, right?
Plenty.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Not all forests. I mean, I love forests, but I feel like forests that I'm used to and the forests that you seem to be describing are somewhat different.
I can't
Yes.
tell.
Well, I'm sure you will learn to love its charms.
I'm sure I will.
I don't even press a button. I kind of just bang on one of the panels on the
God.
ship, and the landing ramp engages. And I step in and I turn to everybody and I say, "I'm gonna see if I can persuade some of those bots to help us with this luggage. I gotta go feed Trini. My baby's been hungry for a while now." And I walk down and walk out and see if I can track our little resident robots to figure out if I can get them to do some of the work for us.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Road goes into the back of the ship and is gonna like lower the loading ramp and everything, but is like making a big show of it so that they leave before it's all down and very obviously like easy to actually take off.
Nolvath will take them to our indoor forest, basically. And along the way, they're gonna ask, like, if there are particular like chemical compounds and things that their people are allergic slash are poisonous to you. So we know which of the fruits that you may eat
Yes.
from the forest.
They don't seem to like. They kind of know. Like it's like if you ask like a random person, like, "Hey, what things are poisonous to humans?" They're like, poison."
Yeah.
Probably. Like I think like if snakes bite us, it's bad. Like very general. Like if you're asking for
Great.
chemical compounds, these are obviously not scientists.
Okay. Well, Nolvath sort of is. I have a specialty in biology and physical sciences. So, assuming our ship, since it has many things, probably has some sort of medical devices that I could scan them with, get their, chemical makeup, and make sure that I'm not going to feed them anything that will murder our guests.
Good plan. Why don't you use access knowledge,
Okay.
and that's on your basic move sheet, unless you have something else specific you want to use.
No, I love using my brains. Let's go with brains.
Big brain.
Okay. All right. That's a 9.
Okay.
Yeah.
What does it say on there for access
Uh,
knowledge?
Access knowledge. Let's see. Examine something to learn its physical properties. I think that's the one.
Yeah, that's the one. Perfect. So it says you pick one on a 7 to 9?
choose one.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay. There you go. You do the thing.
I'm gonna do that one. Great. And then Nolvath will rattle off all of the things that they have figured out that the Hiskiesians are allergic to / could be poisoned by. Just so they know.
Okay. Igram doesn't seem like, oh, that's interesting. You do notice that one of their companions is like, oh, maybe I should know this. And they seem to be like typing into their little tablet thing that we talked about last time.
Mhm.
Like, oh, I guess like maybe they're realizing that they're going to an undeveloped random forest planet, and maybe they should know what might kill them.
I see they planned this very well.
Super well.
Yep.
So, all right. Lawrence, what are you doing right now?
I'm gonna go try and set up actual decent accommodations.
Oh.
Like find a room with an actual window. Something that they could look out at space and see this all happening. Like when we get close to the jump gate and the whole thing, and then whatever jump space looks like streaming by, that kind of thing. So I think I'm actually trying to figure out a way that I can nestle them in a corner that we've explored and just know where they are at least. And then after that, I think he'd retire to his quarters for a minute.
Okay.
I'd send the information about where I've set up to
Yeah,
everybody. Like I think this is a good spot. If we can keep their stuff in the cargo bay, we can figure out what to do from there. But now, the whole of what their cargo is has not been passed along, right?
I think it
To everyone?
I don't
Was-
think so.
Just to Road.
I think once everyone has kind of dispersed and they're not around, Road's going to take the time to be like, trees.
Ah,
One tree, bunch of seeds.
Yeah.
all right.
And I think after that, it just says profit ?
All right, so you're in your quarters now, and
Yeah.
especially since you do corners every time you enter a room, stuff like that. You've looked around, so I expect when you started this, you probably had a few rooms in mind, so you're
Yeah,
very
yeah.
easily able to find a few. All right, what are you up to?
I am going to grab that drum of fuel, and I'm going to start, rolling it over to. Trini sits in the end of the what is it? We repurposed like a cargo bay as our docking pad.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
To a corner of the cargo bay that I call the garage, and I've kind of decked it out with a few decorations. And I'm going to start I'm going to take some moments to just position it, get it ready to load into my ship, and then I'm going to walk to navigation, and I'm going to start plugging in the coordinates and getting the ship ready to head for a jump gate and get us to where we need to go.
Nice.
Are there any protocols that I need to observe before we move the ship?
You mean for this sector?
Yeah, exactly.
No, you're
Okay,
hiding
all right.
out somewhere. Like
Great.
if you'd actually been near the planet and been identified and
Yeah.
stuff, probably a lot, they'd probably be like, "What is that?"
What is
Okay, sure,
But
sure.
you've been kind of hiding off a little bit farther in the solar system.
Okay.
So yeah.
Perfect. All right, yeah. How far to the nearest jump gate?
Not super far.
Okay.
It's a very popular sector.
Great.
So there's probably multiple ones
Mhm.
Yeah.
actually in this area. So there's one that's definitely big enough for you. That's mostly the utility one.
Mhm.
Most travelers don't come through that one.
It's the cruise ship
Yeah.
one.
Right.
Yeah, it's the cruise ship
the liner,
slash-
the
yeah.
cargo liner one. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. So that's the one you came in on. So
Okay. Yeah. We'll start heading towards that.
yeah, probably just a couple hours.
Okay. All right. And then when that's done, I'll just kind of check in on everybody, and maybe I'll get on the intership comm, and I'll say, All right, everybody, our journey has begun. Settle yourselves in. Will the crew of the ship please meet me at navigation at your earliest convenience? That means you three. Yeah.
I didn't think you were talking to the little.
Yeah, right, sure. Yeah.
Well, Road is not built for manual labor and is offloading the ship. And he doesn't know which containers have the seeds and tree in them. He just knows that they exist. So he is moving them, but every so often he'll like knock on the side of one.
Mm-hmm.
So it is extremely slow, and he's trying to like figure out if he can detect which of these ones have the seeds and the tree in it
Mm-hmm.
as he's moving them to try and like strategically place them. Oops, this one got left to the side. Oh no.
Okay. Nice. I'll have you roll for that. Do you have
Sure.
any civilian moves about like finding things of value or anything?
No.
Okay.
Uh,
Happens when you're already rich.
yeah, listen, he doesn't know how to steal very well. He'll steal to your face.
There you go.
I think Nolvath would have told you it was one big one and then a small one.
Yes.
So you know at least what size.
Yeah, he knows it's not
to
the
look
medium
for.
size, like steamer
Yeah.
trunk
Yeah.
size ones. He's looking for like the larger ones. And
I think we said last time there were, I forget, it was like 3 or 4 of the larger ones.
yeah.
So they're pretty big too. You probably so it's you got a 25% chance of picking
Yeah.
right. And they're big enough because they are like those like traveling kind of like coat / like dress hangings things that you have if you're like moving a wedding dress or something. So they're pretty big. So if you put them all 4 next to each other, they're like all still pretty easy to access.
I picture him trying to put all 4 next to each other, but also this man, I cannot stress enough, has never done manual labor a day in his life.
Got it.
And so he's just like, why is this so heavy? And is fully like cartoon leg on another thing next to him, trying to like create some sort of leverage that is not how you create it at all. He has no idea what he's doing. And he's trying to like, okay, fine. After he's trying to manhandle them all into being in one place. And so he's just going, okay, there's one there. There's one over there. He's just trying to think tree. And first he's like, oh, the heaviest one. No, that doesn't make sense. It's a sapling. And has just fully gone around and around trying to figure out which one has that.
Yeah. And like we as the audience we know that these are very fancy. They're like the Louis Vuitton of like space luggage. There's literally like a little button on the side that makes them hover so you can gently push them.
Yeah.
And it's
He's done a little bit of that.
Yeah.
But he can't find the button
No,
on all
yeah.
of them.
It's
It's
slightly
not
different.
his luggage.
No.
Again, manual labor.
Yeah.
He's had people for that his
Yes.
entire life.
forever. Amazing. All right.
Yeah.
This feels like the perfect time for a jump scare.
Yeah. Leg up, just like trying to.
Yeah. I feel like Nolvath got Jonas's message and was like, right, yes, go to the bridge, and stops by on the way to see like how the unloading is going.
And you come in and it's just like a colorful stream of swearing. Just like, I just you should fucking move.
It just like uncamouflages next to you. And like, do you need a hand?
Yes. Which ones? Which ones is it?
Oh, this one, and this one.
Wonderful. So good. Will you take that one and points to one of the smaller ones
Mhm.
and just put it somewhere.
Put it somewhere. Anywhere?
Anywhere.
Oh, somewhere sneaky.
Yes, Nolvath.
Ah. Yes, we can do that.
All right.
Takes great. Go put it in one of my hiding spots. Where none of the other ones know where they are.
All right. So we have secured the clandestine cargo. The guests are in their nice quarters, chatting. It seems like they've brought, like, some of their little pads have like some games and things on them. It seems like if you put the pads together, they have like this sort of like chess, but it's like kind of holographic. It goes vertically,
Nice.
so they can sit and very, like, as they like sip their cocktails or whatever that they found while they were in the forest.
I think what ends up happening is after that happens, Road finally actually gets to the work of putting it all together. I picture having like maglev kind of plates just to like move stuff around on the ship.
Mm-hmm.
And so once it's all loaded, he like makes a train of little maglev, just like pallets of their luggage,
Mm-hmm.
and brings it over as the most disgruntled bellhop you've ever seen.
Interesting. Okay. Nolvath, when you were in the forest with them,
Yes.
you did notice that Igram, again, like, kind of talked to you a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to have you roll the hearts. Assess a being.
Read a being.
Read a being.
Read a being. Oh, we're
I've
bad at
renamed
that.
these a lot, so. All right, so yeah, you're.
This is not our forte. We have a -1.
All right. I'll have a -1 roll.
Read a being. Great. That's a 7.
Okay,
Not as bad as it could be.
nice. So what did it say on a 7 result?
Pick one. What are they feeling? What do they want? Can I trust them? Ooh, how can I get them to blank? Well, I know who's in charge.
So Igram's talking with you a lot, and the other two seem to be kind of busying themselves with dirt and a couple other things. So I'm gonna let you choose. You're picking up on something and being a little weird in this situation. You're not totally used to all these weird biological beings and like all their things, and they're very strange. And they don't have hive mind, which is very strange.
Yeah.
But you've been around a few of them long enough that you're starting to be like, feel like something is off about this. So I'm gonna let you pick which one of those questions you have.
I'm gonna go with what do they want?
Okay. Seems like you are figuring out that Igram's trying to distract you.
Okay.
The other two seem to be taking readings, like very casually with their little tablet things on the soil and some of the other plants in your cargo hold.
Okay.
So, like, very chill, very sly. Not in like a super scientific way.
Mm-hmm.
This is like the equivalent of someone who like bought the equipment online and like has the money and like read how to do it and did a lot of research but has zero practical experience and zero actual academic understanding of it.
Learning to use a tricorder using YouTube.
Yeah, exactly. This is it. So
They can know if it goes green or red.
exactly.
It's like that time machine situation from Napoleon Dynamite.
Uh-huh.
Basically.
Yes.
So they're figuring this out. They are sciencing.
They're
The best they know. And you're not sure why exactly, but that's what was happening while you were in the cargo.
Okay. I think they're a little bit too suspicious to directly like ask them about it. If they had been like, "Hey, can we take readings of this?" They would have been like, "Yeah, let me help you."
Yeah. They seem not the best at this, and they also seem to be very secretive about it. So, but anyway, that's sort of
Okay,
what happened while you were in the forest cargo hold with them.
got it.
And then they went back to their rooms. They're chilling out now, and you jump scared and
And now there's a disgruntled bellhop delivering their message.
yes.
Unceremoniously dumps them and then goes towards navigation. Knocks on the door. Here are your things. And then just...
Yes.
Doesn't wait for tip.
Yeah,
No.
they're trying. They're like, oh, okay, that's so kind.
Just like, oh,
They toss some credits. They just hit the door as the door shuts.
Oh my. Full service included. How nice.
Oh.
And you called everyone down to the thing.
Mhm.
Okay.
All right. Is everybody?
Yes.
Has everybody
I'll
come
make
on
my way
over?
down there.
Okay. All right. I bring everybody over. As the door opens, you hear me say, "Oh, hey, hello." So, yeah, everything seems to be progressing normally. And as soon as the door's shut, I'm like, "Okay, so crimes, trees.
Oh.
Is
Yes.
this anything that is going to get a bounty on our heads? I have enough debts in various systems. I do not need one more chalk mark on my board."
Well, we didn't steal them. Initially.
Well, yes.
Well, I mean, I suppose forewarned is forearmed. Nolvath, you seem to have seen stuff. What? Fill us in. Let us know.
They were acting very strange in the forest. We think Igram was trying to distract us. It was odd. The other two were taking readings of the soil and some of the plants, not very skillfully, I might add. They are not scientists. It's very strange. They could have just asked. I don't understand why.
Why our soil?
We do not know.
Is there anything special about our soil? Besides that it's been here for so long.
It is an amalgamation of several soils from different biomes and different planets. It would be more useful universally than other soils.
You know, you don't think they are planning to hide their goods anywhere on our ship, do you?
Why would that be a problem?
Well, I suppose if it wasn't in their luggage and it was on our property, it could point fingers our way.
If it were on our property, then it is our property, correct?
And
I
it
think
becomes
so.
our problem. Again, I'm sure that the folks from Asquizo would they'll deal with their own one way, but if they find outsiders taking their cultural artifacts, it may not play out very well for us.
Especially if their backup plan is to say that we kidnapped them and stole the stuff.
Well, they paid us.
I don't
we
remember.
forced them to go to the ATM machine.
I don't remember giving them a receipt.
Well, we can give them one.
At the same time, do we have any idea if they let anyone know they were leaving with us?
Ooh.
I think we all take a collective, like, oh right.
No. Well, just so that it's out there. Perhaps there's one piece of their less than legal cargo that I've asked Nolvath to set aside as an insurance policy.
Not a bad plan.
Yeah, smart move. Well, I suppose we are transporting these folks on a wing and a prayer then. Let's just fly casual to that jump gate. The sooner we get out of this system, I think the better I'm gonna feel.
Can we go any faster?
I think about that for a second, kind of try to crunch some numbers, and I say, I don't think so. If we travel any faster, we risk being detected. A ship the size of the Amber Star calls attention to itself.
Yes.
Can we do a scan to see if we are being followed?
On it, and I will turn over to a panel, and I'll start just taking readings from various directions around us. Do I detect anything?
There's normal traffic. It doesn't seem
Okay.
like anybody's specifically following you. There's no what are at least reading as like enforcement of any type from the planet.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just not a bunch of red and blue lights.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, just streams of red like converging on our point.
No.
Okay.
There are a couple big like cruise ships and stuff moving about. So there's definitely like traffic, but it's not anything that seems directed at you. And you're not even for once, you're not the biggest ship in the system.
Okay.
There's a couple really big cruise ships. There's a couple cruise liners that are basically like planet size.
Oh wow.
That
Okay.
like literally like millions of beings are on these for their tours and things like that. So you're kind of like a large medium fish in this pond, which
Okay.
is a strange place to be for you.
I'll turn to everyone and I'll say, well, it looks like we don't have anyone on our tail specifically. Maybe what I'm going to do is chart a parallel course next to some of these bigger ships and see if we can blend in a little bit.
Would you like me to confront our passengers about this?
I think subtlety might be our best course right now.
We could spy on them.
We could.
Can I go over to a monitor?
An epiphany.
Can I go over to a monitor and turn it on for the video feed from their rooms that I set up?
Yeah.
Oh, great. I don't even have to camouflage. I'm gonna go hide in there like a creeper.
You don't have to roll anything. If you,
Oh, it's just, I mean, if you're cool with that, okay.
you set up cameras in the hotel previously.
Yeah, I
So
mean, it's standard practice.
yeah, it seems
But-
like a normal thing that you would do. So
Cool.
yeah.
Okay. So, sure. What, are they doing science in there?
It's hard to tell. They're speaking their own language.
Oh.
It looks like they're playing this game on there, but they do also they're kind of like turning on tablets and things like that.
But they're all just sitting there. None of them are like disassembling a wall panel.
No.
Okay.
like it looks like they're sitting and just kind of waiting for it to leave space.
All right.
Okay.
So,
The other question is, do we plan on dropping them off at their planet and then letting others know that these seeds may be there and much easier to acquire than taking them from the home world?
Who?
I could find 1,000 different people that would be interested in that knowledge.
Yes, but who's going to honestly pay us for information that is going to give them unlimited money?
It might not be a matter of payment as much as a matter of getting us some breathing room.
And we're going to offer this to the world-eating people that are going to come and be satiated on three
not our
seeds and a
world.
sapling?
If they could plant them and grow more.
That terrifies me.
We could offer the information to the Kaskasian government. Our guests have paid us for passage. We're giving them passage. They did not pay us to cover up their crime.
This is true. They also didn't pay us for the crime part, in general.
Yet.
I'll put some thought into that and then say, and yet, if they are in it for some profit, maybe looking at things with the long view could also be beneficial for us. Could build a, we could get ourselves some very wealthy friends shortly.
Or we can make ourselves our own wealthy friends.
I cannot argue with that logic.
We do have a forest. And 3 seeds.
And Nolvath, they didn't seem disappointed by any of the scans they took, did they?
I don't think so.
it's hard to read, so you're not sure.
We're not sure.
While you're talking, suddenly like the communication light on your panel lights up because you're kind of in the
Sure.
yeah. And it's a open broadcast to all kind of like traffic in the system.
Okay.
And it's the equivalent of like a missing poster, like,
it's like an
We're
Amber
gonna get
alert.
Amber alert.
yeah,
Oh no.
Specifically on the wrong ship for that.
Green alert.
yeah. Basically, and there, it's like information. Young Igram. Sorry, what's their last name?
No.
I just have Agram.
I have it. Igram Thakela. It has gone missing from the planet. If found, please notify. And then it says like the long name of their family, which translates to one that was born from Golden Roots. At this time, it is unknown if they have been harmed, but their family is worried and would like their immediate return. Thank you. And then it has like contact information there.
They don't even offer a reward.
I think maybe that's a given. So,
But we knew they were leaving without their family's permission.
Lawrence, I think it might be a good time for you to inquire just how serious this this notice might be pursued by the government. I'm gonna go make sure that our scramblers are ready on the are fired up on the loading dock to at least delay scans if anybody comes to look at.
I think I might just go have a little chat with them.
If your chat doesn't succeed, perhaps mine will afterwards.
We can go together.
Are you still
Oh,
watching
no.
them?
Yeah, I'll keep an eye.
Okay, you notice, like, while they're playing their game, like at the same time you're, like, and that announcement goes off here, you can see that their tablets, like, pause with, like, a little notification. It pops up while they're playing their games, and immediately they're like, oh, no. And they're, like, whispering, and they're kind of looking around, like, oh, no, I wonder if they heard it. And you can see it's sort of like teenagers who, like, oh, no, we've got pot. Oh, God.
Yeah.
And yeah, they're trying to, like, hide it, and they're like, oh, gosh. And
5-0.
yeah. So they're like worried, like the parents are gonna walk in and they're like trying to like figure out what's happening. They're still speaking in their language. You're not sure what they're saying.
It's like they haven't legalized these trees yet here in the center of the galaxy.
Yeah, but it's definitely Lawrence like not coming off as criminal masterminds in any way.
But if you would like to present your velveted hand, I could stand by to present an ungloved fist.
What a fascinating and eloquent way to put that. All right.
And you see, like, Lawrence walk out and he starts wiping off the makeup.
Oh. I would watch this good cop, bad cop show.
Yeah. All right. So, how do you make your approach?
Well,
Yeah, Rhodes just gotta saunter on up.
Okay.
Like he owns the place.
Okay.
Kind of does.
Yeah.
And knocks on the door.
Okay.
Hello?
Enter. They like are. Hello. Everything's fine.
So I don't want to disrupt anything you have going on.
Mm-hmm.
But you might have overheard the announcement.
Oh, you heard that too.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, my family, they're just a little overprotective. I've reached the age of maturity. I'm allowed to make my own decisions. They just don't like my taking initiative in my own lifespan.
I understand this. I do. I would love to see you go and flourish without them if that's what you wish to do. But from one very gifted family person to another, will your family blame us for your change of heart about your life?
They'll know it's my own doing. Whether they get upset at you for aiding me, I cannot say. They probably won't pay much attention to you at all, honestly. They don't tend to pay attention to anyone but the moneyed people of our planet. But whether they think they won't think you've kidnapped me. They know I've been trying to get away for some time, regardless of what they say.
I'm not worried about what they actually think.
Yeah.
I'm worried that some overprotective parents might, I don't know, send an entire military against us.
I can't promise they won't do that. I can try and help you not have that happen.
And how would you do that exactly?
I could think of a way. They kind of like look at their friends, and their friends are like,
What about a message?
I can write a message. Won't that tell them that I'm here though?
What if we sent a message and you said you were safe and happy and traveling of your own volition to go and find yourself?
I would love that. I left a note when I left, but they just don't listen. This is the first time you've seen them like very frazzled seeming. And this is the first time you've actually seen like a person from this planet at all seeming like frazzled and stressed out. So it's a little weird. I'd be happy to do that. I can encode the message, whatever you'd like. I can send it. I will write it on my forehead if you need it. I'm just done with them.
I've been in your shoes.
I feel that. I feel like we are kindred spirits. I really do.
Absolutely. Let's make that message.
Okay.
And if you don't mind just leaving the name of the ship and all of us out of the message entirely.
Oh, no, absolutely.
And then we'll further discuss how you can repay us for this minor inconvenience.
Yes. I mean, I understand that remaking a civilization is a rather big undertaking, and we probably should have tipped or something for that. It's a big ask.
You're what?
Oh. And the friends are like, oh, you said it out loud. Really bad at crime.
Love this.
Yes, good.
Well, on our planet, there's a very set system, and you can't really break out of that system. Whatever your family does, you have to do. And it just goes on and on forever and ever. And so a lot of us in the upcoming generations, it seems like we'll never ever get any power, because every time we try and do anything different, we get knocked down for it. And then we have our younger sibling who's willing to follow the tree line and just grow the same way, follow it. So we're trying to build a new place that we can have our culture and freedom to choose and be creative and do our things.
And Road just kind of tries to keep a plain face about this, but is very much so eyebrow arch, just oh. So let's do this. What if you cut us in?
Oh, okay. You want to live on our planet? That'd be wonderful.
No.
Oh.
No offense, but there's no city there yet.
Yes, that is our biggest conundrum at this moment.
But if there were a way to, I don't know, make your new endeavor profitable.
Oh.
Perhaps a small factor of what's going to start your new world.
The
Like planting
people?
a seed, if you will.
Seeds? What's seeds? Again, really bad. They all just oh shit! They've got that face, oh no.
Could I have just kind of be approaching and hear that last bit of that conversation?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay, I pause, listen in, And then I hop onto the scene. I'm tapping like vigorously on my arm pad, and I'm like, "Hey, Road, I detected a little something strange in our cargo hold that I may want to speak to you about." And then I turn to our passengers, and I say, "Oh, yeah," saying it loud enough to be heard.
Yeah.
This kind of concerns them.
Well, we're in the middle of some important smoothing out, and with literally the eye that is pointed away from them, Road does wink.
Yeah. Same thing with the other eye. I wink back, and like all together, you and I like turn our heads kind of in concert.
Igram turns and like furiously in their own languages. Suddenly, like this chill, mellow language is like rapid fire, like very like back and forth, talking with their friends. Well, we were hoping to have the same cultural appreciation for the trees on our upcoming planet as on our home planet, but maybe making it accessible to everyone is more in line with our belief system. So, yes, we can give you one of the crystal seeds.
Oh, you
if
have
help
one.
us. Yes. Did you not know that already? It seemed like you knew that.
Oh, well, that would probably be in line with these life readings that I found
They all
Life
look at-
reading.
over in the cargo hold.
they're all looking at each other like, you said it. I thought they knew. Like they're giving like the looks of like kids who are blaming each other.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yes, and there's a unfathomable amount of wealth and value in such a thing. It has no given monetary value because it is worth so much.
Well, given that you have more, and Road looks to Jonas, we can have an arrangement, and any seeds we'll share from ours.
Well, to start our culture, we need as many as possible to plant the trees. They take an extraordinary long time.
How long?
The trees that are growing that you saw on our planet were born in the time of our great ancestors.
Oh, this is not profitable. You know what?
We are hoping it has been discovered that there is a certain component that makes them grow faster. We're trying to find it, but we've been reading that if you can find this chemical, I don't remember what it's called, we have it on our tablets, that it will make the seeds grow quickly, much faster. But unfortunately, we haven't been able to locate any of this since it doesn't actually exist on our home planet.
And you believe that you're going to find this in last two then?
Well, we don't know. Last two has the optimal conditions for growing the trees and doesn't currently have any civilizations on it. So we're not gonna like knock other people out of their homes, and it's also far enough away that our parents might not find us.
Okay, you know, that actually when I see that look on Ingram's face, that look of like parents,
Oh, yeah.
you know, like kind of bucking authority, that pulls on my heartstrings a little bit. It's like I was there at that point too when I was young and into my adulthood. And I turned to Nolvath and
Are you
I turned
visible,
Nolvath
Nolvath?
Road, and no, you're invisible, right? Okay. never mind.
Invisible.
I turned to Road, and Lawrence, you're there, right?
No, I haven't arrived yet.
Oh, you haven't, right? Okay. In that case,
Waiting.
I turn to Road, and I give you just a little like tug at my collar that says, "Let me handle this. Let me see what I can get out of this."
Well, I'm going to go and do some accounting and see how we can make this square between us and keep an ear out for any authorities that might be intervening. In the meantime, think about that message. But you should definitely discuss the cargo issue with them, Jonas.
I give you a nod and a little salute.
Road swans off.
Okay, and I turn to Igram and friends, and I say, listen, that moment when you spoke of your parents, I have been there. I know how you feel.
Having super rich, controlling parents is such a common problem. I didn't realize that it was something that happens so often off of our planet.
Yeah. Oh no, that's absolutely it. And that's why my friend who just stepped out of the room, that's why their shields are up.
Yeah.
They've been there too. We know what you're going through. We understand wanting to have your freedom and make your own way in the world, or even in your case, I suppose, make your own world.
Right? They think they can just buy you this giant house and all these things and a career, and that you'll just stay and be happy always.
Yeah. Totally relate. I say, now you have been more than generous in offering us a share of what you need to start your own civilization, as you put it. But there are repercussions that could fall on your necks and on ours. And what I really need to know, what I need to get from you, is a guarantee that nothing is going to happen to me, my crewmates, or our ship.
Oh, well, I wouldn't want anything bad to happen. I would do anything I could to protect you all. But when you're in a revolution, sometimes things just happen and for the greater good. But I don't know. I had things prepared and now I'm just stressed out and I can't remember. But I don't want anything bad to happen.
Okay, well, listen. Then it might be better for us to take more than, say, you said one seed, right?
Yes, we have 4 of them.
Might be better for us to take those 4 and hide them somewhere else where, if the authorities should find us. And don't worry, we're only about half an hour away from the nearest jump gate at this point. We will be out of system soon. Maybe if we get our hands on those, we might be able to, you might be able to misdirect people away from us and not have to worry about those.
We could we could definitely negotiate such things. Yes, maybe, of course.
All right, well, tell you what. Let's wait until we jump. You look like you could use a little relaxation time.
Oh, I would give anything to be in the root pools right now. But no. We're going to be strong and we're going to change the world, or we'll create a new world, I guess. But yeah.
All right. Well, yeah, that's wonderful for you all.
Thank you so much for helping our cause. Thank you. I feel like we should memorialize you all with a song or something once we have enough people on our planet to write songs and stuff. But yeah.
The camouflage is making it better.
Yeah. Oh, that would be our privilege, of course. Let me try to ease my friend's mind, my associate's mind. You all get some rest. Again, if I remember correctly, you've never jumped, have you?
No. Does it hurt?
No. It's a little bit of it takes a little bit of adjustment. Like my friend said, it's like putting your ear to something unpleasant first, but once you get used to it, there is no feeling like it.
Oh.
And I assure you, this will be an experience you speak with those generations of yours for years to come.
Oh, that sounds exciting.
I kind of put on the most charming face I can, and I look at each one of them in turn and give them a little, relax, look out the window. I'll make an announcement before so you can see what it looks like.
Okay. Are you just kind of planting a seed, or are you
Yeah,
Are you
yeah.
actually like trying to get them? Are you using your? Because you have the move
Oh,
right? You don't
well,
have to use it if you're not actually trying to make them do anything. If you're just
no,
like-
no, I didn't. I didn't pick that one yet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's why I'm hoping for some advances.
Yeah, you'll get some.
Okay, but anyway, no. I mean, I'm trying to put him at ease, and yeah, I'm trying to become like, I'm trying to be, hey, you know, I'm your buddy.
Yeah.
I'm not just a crew member.
Okay.
I'm a friend, and I'm a friend for life.
I get you. Yeah.
That kind of thing. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And so I want to be like, you know, the person that they turn to if they have a question or anything like that.
Okay.
And with that, I will back away, you know, again, kind of as charming a smile as I can pull. And as soon as that door closes, it just like wipes to, okay, time for business. And I walk over to, I try to find everybody else on the ship, wherever they happen to have gone.
Okay.
Nolvath, are you out?
Nolvath is right behind you. They followed-
Okay,
they
all right,
followed
okay,
you.
thank goodness. Okay. All right.
I think once everybody comes out of the room, like, did you leave?
Road left.
Okay. But once I see the two of you come out of the room, because by now, like, when you're in motion, I think I've got enough that I'm like, oh yeah, okay.
Yeah.
That's not a weird shadow following him out the door.
Yeah.
I think I probably step out of like an archway a little ways down the hall, but like fully dressed in like a black vac suit. And not with a helmet on, but like all the makeup is gone. So it's like what kind of looked like a person is very much more skeletal and stretched, thin. Eyes just like, I think stepping into the light gives that quick flash of like the
Wolf's eye.
yeah, a
Yeah,
little bit
yeah,
that, but like
yeah.
a lavender color.
Oh,
Cool.
interesting.
And like, were you successful?
I say, I don't know. Success is yet to be proven, but they have offered to give us a pretty good deal.
Oh, a shame.
Now, have we ever seen you without your makeup before?
I don't think so. Well,
Okay.
you probably have. You
Yeah.
have.
Oh, I probably
Yes.
have. Yeah. You might not know that.
You know what? Actually, and when I see you, I kind of start for a second, and I think, oh, this is you with makeup on.
Oh,
This is to
This
scare them.
is you.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the intimidation look. You put the suit on. You know. I say when you.
but
when
yeah,
you-
and like it's probably got like all kinds of like chrome attachments on the front that look like it's like a weapon vest of some
Yeah.
kind or something, but they don't look normal. Yeah.
It's your dinner jacket.
um,
Easy to hose off.
Yeah.
so yeah, when I say that and you respond, I say it's a good look for you.
Well, thank you.
And I think I give you like a head nod and see if we can again find road, and then if you were behind me, I don't know if I necessarily have realized that you were there.
Probably not.
No.
Okay, all
I
right.
haven't said anything.
Yeah, I'd go off to find road and Nolvath in that case.
They
Terrified.
just tap you on the shoulder.
Oh my god.
I think I probably chuckle.
yeah.
Every time it happens to somebody else, I'm probably like,
And I just to confirm, I'm like, no, that's you, right?
Oh, yes.
I'm never gonna get used to that. Boots down the corridor.
All right.
I think I want to try and figure out what that compound they are talking about is.
Okay.
Assuming
science.
we have some sort of internet situation that I could do a research on.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not
Access
gonna-
knowledge about it.
I mean, I'm not gonna make you roll access
Okay.
knowledge if these three chuckleheads can find it on the internet.
Yeah.
That's fair.
It's probably like good
Yeah.
housekeeping.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
the third
It's like
search
oxygen,
result.
I don't know.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Might be more complicated to find out like where it might be located, like
Mhm.
which planets might have it, or like where it's naturally occurring, or if it can be synthesized,
Right.
that kind of thing.
So it looks like that this strange chemical that is found on many planets, but is for some reason not on their planet. It's phosphorus.
Oh.
Oh.
Interesting.
That shouldn't be hard to find.
Cool.
Are you going to share that information with everybody once we've kind of,
Oh, that's fair. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
you
yeah.
know,
Do we have any phosphorus on the ship? Great question.
that's a really good question. I'm also gonna see if I can do a scan of or find information on last two and see if it is a phosphorus-rich world.
Yeah.
I'm going to answer your question first.
Okay.
Being of science, you would know why. Yes, you have a lot of phosphorus.
Oh, we have cows. We have space cows.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we have
got
space cows.
Yes, as some people in chat already guessed, it is one of the main components in manure.
Awesome.
Not
Yes.
playing farmer today.
Yes.
Island cattle to the rescue again. Thanks, fuzzy cows.
Thanks, fuzzy space cows.
Yeah.
Zero G cows.
Yeah. So you have a
Yay.
ton of it. There's probably some of it in the soil. Now, if am I remembering correctly, there was like a cow thing, and it's separate than the forest. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we have like the.
The cow dome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The cow dome.
I feel like the hydroponics.
Yeah, it was an
Forest?
overgrown
Yeah.
hydroponics forest.
Overgrown hydroponics forest was probably separate from the like. Here's where we keep the animals bit. But Nolvath probably takes them to the forest periodically just for fun.
Yeah. So the
Come on,
forest. Yeah.
Enrichment time for the cows.
Yeah. So the forest actually would have phosphorus in it too. It's
Yeah.
really common for all plant life. My lemon tree that looks weird needs more phosphorus. That's why it looks weird. That's why I'm feeding it. So that obviously shows also that they're not great at this science thing.
Yeah. Clearly
Scanning for
looking right at
phosphorus, and it's like, yeah.
Yeah.
So now probably not as much of it. Even they probably wouldn't be able to if they like scanned the cow dome, like to miss that there's phosphorus there.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you have so much of this.
Great.
What it will do to these seeds and how quickly it will make these seeds grow, you have no way of predicting.
Okay.
But you've got a lot of it.
We might want to not do that on the ship.
Mm.
Finite space.
Yeah.
Big tree.
Yeah, because even as big as your ship is, these trees are massive to
Yeah.
like beyond that. Like these are trees of a size that they build cities in them. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah.
We can make a tree growing kit. We just can't grow the tree on the ship.
Road will not understand that.
A video of like Nolvath little care package. Here's how you grow your tree.
Road is convinced that we can grow these trees on this ship.
Absolutely not. Well,
I don't know if you've noticed, he doesn't know a lot about plants.
do you want a tree hole in your hull? Because this is how you get one.
It's a skylight.
Now, if you were careful to keep it away from phosphorus, you could probably grow in for many centuries
Oh, yeah.
without punching a hole in your hull. But you never know.
Without a skylight.
Yeah. Just don't ever get phosphorus near it. Ever. Maybe. Okay.
Gosh.
Does last two have, does it have a level of phosphorus then in that case, or is that something we don't know about the planet?
Yeah, I don't know if that information's on there. People
Okay.
have done some things. You'd have to do like more of a deep dive.
Sure.
And this sector may not have that database.
Okay.
People have taken pictures. Now it's very likely because it is a very like vegetation
Lush
heavy
world,
planet.
yeah.
But also, so is this planet, and it doesn't have any phosphorus, so it's a little hard to tell. There's so many chemical variants in planets in the universe. It's hard to know.
So many other factors and stuff too.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
All right.
Cool.
So was their offer good?
Road left.
Well, I mean,
Yeah,
at
when
some
I
point
get
we
you all, I'm going to
collect
say,
together-
well, at the very least, they are going to let us take the seeds off their hands for a little while while the search is on for them.
We've already done that.
Sure, yeah. Well, but now we can be upfront with them about it. Are we close to the jump gate then?
Yeah, you're like 5 minutes out. And you're now at the point where you probably need to start getting in line.
Yeah, okay. I'm gonna say, in order to, I played the sympathetic face to them, and in order to perhaps draw attention away from them or us. Well, in order to draw attention away from them, I said that we could perhaps hide the seeds where we have more control over it, and that way, if they get scanned or anything like that, the authorities will not find it on them.
Should we also hide the sapling? Then?
I don't know if I necessarily want to go that far.
This is a good point. If they are scanned and they find the sapling,
and they get whisked away, we may still have our hands on at least a little something. I turn to you all and I say, all right, everybody, we're about 5 minutes out of jump. I'm going to go get ourselves in the queue, make sure the coordinates are plugged in right, and everybody get ready to have your bellies flipped upside down.
That's my favorite part.
Yeah, you know what? Actually, that's mine too. I gotta give you one of these, and then I'll head over to command and control panel and control room, and then get ready to jump.
Mm-hmm. So a line is formed. There's like different cruise ships, things like that. And it seems that they are doing some preliminary scans. And there's like the little communicators, like boop, boop.
Mm-hmm.
It starts like indicating someone's trying to speak with you.
Oh, okay, all right. I did get to set up like signal dampeners in the cargo hold, right? Okay, to at least like impede a scan if I really need to. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or make it look like.
I'm assuming you do less than legal things often. So
Sure,
I
yeah.
feel like that's something you probably have set up in the past
Okay.
clandestine smuggling stuff you've done a bit. So I'm just kind of assuming you have basic precautions in place already.
Okay.
You are not a new crew. You haven't
No.
just met. You've been doing this a little while.
yeah.
I will tidy
Especially
my. Oh,
because
sure.
you're being chased. So
Yeah,
you're-
right,
A lot
right.
of times you're like, after that first time you got scanned and they pulled all your personal information, you've probably been a lot more careful since then. I think we actually established that specifically.
Yeah, we basically like scraped off the numbers
The
from
serial number.
the serial
the
number
VIN from the.
Road's ridiculous ship.
Yeah. Okay, I will clean myself up as best I can, straighten my jacket out, get in my seat, straighten myself out, and then take the hail.
Hello, travelers. What is your ship name? I'm having trouble reading your name, the name of your vessel.
Oh, darn it. Did we come up with an alias or anything like that for our ship, or are we just kind of going by what we got?
I assume we have one. We
I
have
think we must have a lot of them.
Okay, I plumb my...
flip through the Rolodex.
Yeah, I plumb my head for a realistic sounding alias, and I will say, greetings. This is the. Good Lord,
Please.
I know. Let me think about this.
Ready to go.
This is the Ashen Nebula. We are jumping. We are just preparing ourselves for a jump. Moving on to a new system.
Oh, well, we hope that you return soon. Thank you so much. As you might have noticed, we are looking for a young person of our planet who's missing, and we're just worried, and we want to make sure that they're all right. You wouldn't happen to have them or any of their friends aboard?
Oh, my stars. No, not at all. I did see the announcement, and my sympathies go out to their family.
Oh, is there, do you have knowledge of something that may have happened to them, that they would need sympathies?
Well, no, but if a family is looking for one of their kin, I mean that is a very difficult position to find oneself in.
Yes, it's very difficult. You can see that they're like super friendly from this planet, but they're also trying to pull information a little bit, but also
Yeah.
not wasting time because there's a big line for this jump gate.
I'm gonna just kind of like, put a little. I'm gonna feign a little catching my throat like maybe that's too real for me.
Oh gosh.
Well, yes. And can you give me some information about your purpose in the system and what you've been doing in our fine part of the universe?
Oh well, a little bit of recreation. We have some oh boy. A little bit of recreation. We have just come from a rather long voyage. We need a little bit of downtime. But also, I have a ship that needed some refueling.
Oh, I see. Well, our scans are showing a total of 50 life forms aboard your vessel, in addition to a large number of animal life. Are you some sort of safari cruise?
I say no, actually. We are trying to. These are some of the last of these animals that we have on our ship. We are trying to find a suitable world for them.
Oh, well, that is a fine endeavor. I'm so glad that ecologists like yourselves are serving the greater universe. And yes, it seems that you have, of your sapient beings aboard, it seems, of the 50 life forms, it seems that there are 7 different species. Everyone accounted for? You made sure before you're leaving the system?
Oh, absolutely, without a doubt.
All right. Well,
As fellow biologists like myself.
well, it seems that you do have a few people from our sector traveling with you. You have 3 Hiskesians? That's what
Yeah.
I'm saying. Okay.
Hiskesians?
Thank you. Hiskesians aboard? That's a unique number.
Oh, yeah. I ended up finding some companionship, and they decided that they wanted to see the galaxy with us, or at least as far as the next jump over.
No. Well, there's like a pause for a moment.
Is anybody in the bridge with me?
Road literally left to go throw himself a pity party in the cryo area.
Okay.
Nolvath is probably in the bridge with you, but
But visible? Question mark?
Okay.
I'm 100% there. I'm off camera.
Yeah.
But
kind
I
of
have
like
a plan if things go really
listening in.
wrong.
Okay, all right. I pretend that I'm looking. I'm punching numbers in another control panel, and I kind of just give you a quick eye, like, are we good, just in case.
Let's see what they come back with.
Okay, yeah, and I turn my attention back to the screen, back to the hail.
Hold please.
Did you call that we were getting in line over the ship-wide intercom or whatever?
No, not yet. That
Cool.
I haven't announced. I'm not going to announce until we jump.
I'm just hanging out with all the I can
The
do math,
other
like 40 something
people,
life
yeah.
forms.
Okay.
Literally throwing
Alright.
like bolts into the void, just fully emo kid at the ocean.
I'm okay. In that case, I'm gonna send a message to you saying, "Road, we may need your eloquence up here."
Oh, to be needed.
Um,
This is what he lives for.
so yeah, if it seems that we are going to need to confirm that the number of our citizens is what's concerning us. It does match the number of reported youths who have gone astray, as it were.
Oh,
Would I be able to speak with them, or may one of your crew speak to as the who they are and the nature of their endeavor with you?
no, absolutely. You see, we are a rather large vessel. It's going to take me a while to summon them. Stand by. And I flick the hold button.
So this is going to take whoever wants to do it. It's a manipulated being roll. Or unless you have a playbook move that's useful.
Road is coming running
Okay.
to the cockpit.
Okay.
Or the
That's
nav
something you'd
center.
probably be pretty good at too.
I have a slightly different plan,
Okay.
which I can enact, but it's a plan that, if it happens, is gonna leave a mark. Like there's gonna be some possible back channel problems later.
Okay.
So,
my limit for shapeshifting / camouflage is my size and shape, right?
Oh my gosh. This
It
is so
is.
funny.
How similar in size
You're pretty similar in size. You're like, I feel, at least in my picture of you, you're like taller and like more slender, a little bit elongated.
They're pretty. Yeah, they're pretty slender and elongated, but also so are the Hiskesians.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's true.
If we get you a little closer to the view camera and we stand a little back into the force perspective.
Or even if like you stand in the background, like it's a step down. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Now you wouldn't be able to speak their language or sound like them,
No.
but you could definitely like make yourself kind of look like them.
Did
At
I
least
see
nothing-
any of the people that you spent the night with?
I have
That's
pictures.
funny. I mean, we saw lots of people. They all came to see you.
Yeah.
That's true.
That's true.
saw
Yeah,
so
yeah.
many
You saw
yeah.
so many Hiskesians.
Yeah. I feel like I just gotta be.
And I
One
do
of-
have some very specific pictures that I took.
Excellent.
If you need a point of reference,
They
I'll
might
just need a minute to make sure I crop out.
Amazing.
Road finally, I think, like busts open the door and his cravat's all messed up, and he's just like, this ship is too big.
Road, we have some jump officials asking questions about our passengers, not
Oh.
about our cargo.
Well, it just so happens I'm very good at talking to Port Authority type figures.
Okay,
What
and
do
I
they need?
Nolvath, are you also going to like make yourself appear?
We could impersonate one of the Hiskesians, one of your companions from the other night.
Fabulous.
Perhaps we cannot speak their language,
If you just stand there.
but perhaps we lost our voice in our cavorting with you.
Oh.
Sure. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Or you've taken a vow of silence
yeah.
for the trip.
All right, so we're going to use a mechanic for this. So, Nolvath, I'm going to have you roll Trust Me, because you are proposing
God.
You're proposing
yeah.
a plan to the group. So this is on your
Okay.
basic move sheet.
Uh-huh.
You're actually,
Okay.
So actually, you don't have to roll anything for this. I don't know why I said that. But this is one of the moves that uses your trust. So you're going to have to
Okay.
spend trust to do it. So to step up and take the lead with another crewmate or the whole crew, wager 1 trust and explain what you want them to do. And you roll 2d6. Oh, you do roll, sorry.
Okay.
I've rewritten these so many times, friends. So many times. You may wager up to 3 more trust and add +1 for each.
Okay.
So, and then the crewmates get to choose whether
All right.
the roll basically is an indicator of how convincing you are,
Mm-hmm.
and then they get to choose those. So even if you roll terribly, they can still choose. Hey,
Hilarious.
I know Nolvath isn't great at speaking, but this is actually a pretty good plan underneath it, or
Yeah.
whatever it is. So,
There's good bones here.
Yes.
Yes.
So how many trusts would you like to wager? You have to wager at least 1.
I'm gonna wager 1 because I only have 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good call. And then you're gonna roll 2d6.
I got 11.
Hell
Oh
yeah.
my God.
This is a very logical plan. All right,
It
so
seems to be.
everyone who's here who's been asked. So Lawrence, are you in any way helping
here.
with? Okay.
I mean, I'll help.
Okay.
Again, my plan is the last
You're
stop
the
on
muscle.
this train.
Okay.
No,
I'm so excited to know what it is.
All right. So thumbs up if you're gonna go with it.
Oh yeah.
All right. Everyone. Okay. Everyone asked clears a condition and earns a trust.
Oh.
All right. Since you rolled. Yeah.
Oh, I don't.
Yeah.
Oh, I do.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and on a 10+, you get to double the results. So, you
I get to.
earn 2. No, sorry, you earn 2 trust,
Yay.
Samantha,
I'm
And we
respected.
and clear a condition.
so we add 1.
So you all clear a condition and earn 1 trust.
Okay.
You
Oh, I'm clearing that
clear,
trust condition.
earn 2 trust
2 trust.
because everyone's like, yeah, everybody voted for your plan. Everybody trusts you.
Yay.
And clear condition, but since you rolled an 11, you get to double that. So you actually earn
You're
4
very
trust,
trusted.
Wow.
and you get to clear 2 conditions.
I'm off the
That's awesome.
chart.
Amazing.
Ooh, get
what
to clear
happens if
those
you
two.
overflow your tank of trust?
Nothing, you just pop. You just hit the top.
Oh,
stay
okay.
there.
So you don't get the
No,
the frothy head just spills
Yeah, just
over.
spills over.
The
and
couple get so big.
you just feel so good that you just
Yeah.
have too much trust. The bar can't even handle it.
Excellent.
All right, so now that you've trust me, you get to unlock teamwork. When multiple crewmates agree on a plan after successful trust me roll or an NPC captain choice, eligible crewmates may wager 1 trust to opt into teamwork.
Yeah.
They take turns rolling the appropriate moves to accomplish their tasks. You get to decide what order. And basically, you roll an extra die when you roll your move, and you get to choose of the dice which ones you use, and then the leftover one goes in a pool, and anyone can use it.
Ah, cool.
So if you roll 3 6s, Samantha, and you go first, one of those 6s goes into the pool, and then if Kai goes next, and you roll 2 1s, you can swap one of those 1s for a 6 and make it a 7.
Awesome.
Nice.
But then the 6 you take swaps with your 1.
Becomes
so
the
there's
one
a-
in the
There's
pool.
the
Yeah,
one
then
in
it
the
becomes the one in the pool.
Yes.
Okay.
We wouldn't necessarily always do this for something as simple as just talking to like customs, but I feel like it's a good like let's learn how to do
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I think first thing I'm gonna
Transform.
Okay,
do
I
take
I
a
pull
look
up
at your illicit photos.
yeah, I pull up a picture, I zoom in
myself.
on the face to make sure that like
Yeah.
I find
Features.
one with like the most distinct, features on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna do a camouflage into that person.
this. Amazing.
Get myself in position where I want to be, but be like, oh no, I can't talk. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, and you don't have to roll anything to change your appearance for that one, do you? On that move.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, that my alien form does not have a roll. It just has the
Yeah, you're just
the
able to do
size
it.
and shape.
Yeah, I am going to
limit.
have you roll access knowledge
Okay.
just to like really process all the minutia of those explicit photos. that have been shared.
And not
like-
be distracted.
There you go.
We have questions. Okay.
Did you roll an extra one?
Yeah.
I did roll an extra one, and I have +2 for my brains. So I'm gonna take my 6 and my 2, plus my 2 brains gives me 10
Okay.
for my access knowledge. I'm gonna
Perfect.
put a 5 in the pool.
Okay.
Cool.
Ooh,
5.
awesome.
5.
And at a normal table, you'd be able to see the little pool
Yeah,
of dice.
yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
We're in a studio. It's a little bit. Awesome. Okay. Who wants to go next? Or who do we think should go next?
Are we ready to flick on? Are we ready
Yeah,
to?
Road is ready to put on the whole show of hello, I am the son of a trading family, blah blah blah.
Okay.
So
And,
how are you helping Jonas?
so first of all, I'm gonna let you know that what I've said, like about
Yeah,
how we're
recap the
transporting
whole
cows to a new world so that we can repopulate the last of their species. I'm going to.
I'm not going to make you go next. I'm just trying to figure out who.
Yeah, who?
Sure,
yeah,
sure.
we gotta figure it out.
What the plan is.
I'm going to play the part of like. I remember that face action. I'm like, oh wow, yeah.
And I think Nolvath kind of like drapes themselves on you a
Yes,
little bit
exactly.
to like sell it. Like,
And I'm gonna play the coy like, well, a gentleman never tells. To try to actually bait them into asking more information so I can actually show them pictures.
So it's like a theatrical production going on
Yeah,
behind this
yeah.
negotiation.
Okay.
To make it very clear that yes, this is why they're here. And if you want to know more, great. If you're feeling really awkward right now, better.
Yeah.
Amazing. Lawrence, how are you helping?
Can I not opt into teamwork?
Yeah, you absolutely do not have to opt in.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm gonna arm the photon torpedoes.
No, I'm just gonna stand on the side. I've still got
Sharpening
my
the-
backup plan.
Yeah, no, totally fine. Now, to opt into teamwork, you do wager 1 trust. So
Sure.
we all, and the way it works is if everybody succeeds, you get trust. If one person fails, then you lose the trust.
Yeah,
as a
yeah,
group.
yeah.
Okay. So, all right. So who?
But I don't count against that for not
No,
being part.
no,
Okay.
you are just
I'm just off
you
to
were
the
your
side.
own special thing. So, as a group, who do we think should go next?
I think that it turns on and we see Jonas.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Again, you're draped over me. Boom. Here's one of our passengers. If you'll excuse me.
I'm gonna have you roll Approve Your Work.
Okay, excellent.
So, in a high pressure situation,
Let's see.
you
Let's
got
go, let's go,
take
let's go.
action.
That is courage. I have a +2 on courage, and we
okay,
have a
great.
5 in the pool, right?
yes.
Oh my god. So I'm going to. Oh boy. I'm going to trade in this 2
Okay.
Okay.
for a 5.
For the 5.
All
Okay.
right.
Those are 2
Which
in the pool.
gives me it's a 5 and a 1, but with my courage +2, that still brings it up to an 8.
Okay.
Great.
Okay, and for prove your worth, 7 and 9, you succeed with some difficulty.
So you have to pick one off that list.
Okay, so I either am injured or emotionally shaken, and I mark a condition. I put a crewmate in a bad position. Their next roll is with disadvantage. I damage or destroy something important. I mark 1 damage box on the ship.
Oh,
Ooh.
God.
I don't think I can do that.
Give me the disadvantage. Let's go.
Yeah, I'll put you in a... Yeah, I guess I will put you in a bad position. Do I determine that, or do you...
No, you can. If you have an idea, I'm happy to do it. But if you have an idea, go for
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. You know what? I don't. I have no idea
it.
how.
Okay.
Whew,
Uh,
that's some...
I'm gonna say that if you're okay with it, you start like reminiscing, and you kind of like lose track of like in this like kind of like pheromone. Oh, that great night I had. You kind of lose track that this is Nolra. You're not like totally forgetting, but you're just like a little too touchy-feely in a way that someone from their planet is gonna read as like, wait, no one would be doing that in front of other people in our culture. So that's just gonna be a little bit of
Okay.
like a
little red flag.
yeah, this
sort
is a
of.
little
much
taboo.
PDA.
Yeah, and they're just like, wait, what? This wouldn't really be happening, especially with like on a call with like an official from the government.
Okay.
So you're not like doing anything inappropriate too much. Like you're not like groping, but you're just like, oh yeah, you're just into it a little bit too much.
Yeah. Okay.
In a way that you don't realize like is a warning, like
Yeah.
like telling them
It's
something
cultural
wrong.
taboo.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Okay. All right.
So that's going to give you a little bit of a disadvantage to convince them that, oh yeah, everything's fine and normal.
Okay, so for roll at disadvantage, refresh me here.
So the way this will work is you're going to normally what you do is you'd roll 3 dice,
Uh-huh.
and you take the lower 2 instead, and with advantage you'd roll 3 dice,
Yeah.
take the higher 2.
Okay.
So I'm going to have you. This is a good question. Yay for playtesting.
Yeah.
I'm going to have you roll. I'm going to have you roll 3 dice.
You could still take the
And
lower
I can still take the
two.
lower
And
2
still
and
take
then
the
have
lower
the
2, and
the
that will just
pool.
pass to automatically.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense because it's my roll and then the pool is the teamwork pool.
And it just automatically makes it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect. Add that to the rules.
Nice. So despite all of the production going on behind him,
Mm-hmm.
Rode has some very good specialties for this situation
Ooh,
and is
excellent.
very skilled at specifically talking his way out of interstellar commerce and border type conversations. Because I actually have criminality, interstellar commerce, and subterfuge as specialties.
Now you can add one
Yeah,
specialty. You
I
can't
know.
add all of them.
It's just funny that
Yeah.
it's all 3. It's obviously interstellar commerce.
Yes.
And then, so the way this is worded, I'm going to ask you if I can do this.
Okay.
I have the civilian move when I lie to you.
Mm-hmm.
When you roll to read a being, roll with plus savvy if you are preparing for a negotiation of some type.
Okay.
Would this qualify as a negotiation that I could use this roll for?
Yes. The only thing is that roll will give you information. It will not be the actual negotiation.
Okay.
So you would need to roll manipulate a being, or if there's a specific negotiation roll on your thing.
That is the only negotiation roll I
Okay.
can.
Yeah. So manipulate a being on the basic moves is generally what you do to try and get an NPC to
Yes.
act a certain way.
Ooh, my heart is garbage.
No, manipulate a being is savvy.
That's savvy.
Oh, then I'm great. Never mind. Never mind. Never mind.
Read a being, understanding people, that's hard.
Yes.
Manipulating them and making them do what you want,
That's my specialty, baby. Okay. So yeah, he begins to go into this whole thing about not only is it beneficial for them to let us through because these cows are on a particular timetable and if we don't get them to fresh air in a certain amount of time, and like just fills them with completely useless information.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Oh, baby. Even at disadvantage,
Uh-huh.
it's a 10 on the dice.
Oh,
Plus
nice.
2.
Amazing.
Ooh.
Oh, plus 3.
Plus 3.
Plus
Okay.
3.
Very nice. So on a 12 plus, you get a trust. And then on a 10 plus, you choose 2. on the list. So they will complete one task for you. They will give you one piece of information. They will make a scene or act out. They will be distracting or unobservant. They will provide an opening or leave themselves vulnerable.
Well, first of all, I want them to be completely unobservant to the travesty that's going on behind me. So that they're just kind of like, this kind of checks out, even though it's really not
Very weird.
gonna check out.
Yeah.
And then I want them to let us through.
Yeah. So
Like
complete a task.
passage.
Yeah, complete a task for you. So basically,
Yeah.
they're gonna like rubber stamp. Yes, you can go. Perfect. Amazing. So, yes, everything seems in order.
Thank you. The cows, thank you, dear.
Yeah. Yes, cows. Yay for ecology. All right. Enjoy your trip. I hope everyone does well with the jumps. And you were allowed to jump.
Okay. Turn that off. I look at you and then I'm like, oh, putting my pictures away.
All right. And you jump through the gate?
Yeah, yep, everybody, just take a seat. It's about time for us to get out of this here system.
Perfect. All right. So let's finalize the teamwork. So you two got 10 plus, right?
Yeah.
You got
8.
8. Okay, so if everyone got 7 plus, you all get your wagered trust back.
Yay.
And you mark 1 XP and you clear a condition.
Heck yeah.
And that is teamwork.
Woo.
All right.
Woo!
Good job, team.
Go team.
Except
Man,
Laura.
get to clerical.
No, I mean, it's fine.
I know,
For a
I'm
good
just-
reason. But I think as soon as the comm goes off, you see that, like, I have been over there with, like, some kind of a wrist display thing, and it's all, like, a language that you don't know. And, like, I was typing things into it frantically, watching this starting to go wrong, and then, like, oh, and he just kind of closes it slowly and goes, oh, well, very good, very good. I guess we're off to the races. I think even his timbre of voice changes when he's not in the makeup and the hair.
Yeah, when he's
the
not
whole
being
thing.
a normal
Yeah.
guy.
Mm-hmm.
So good,
Cool.
excellent.
Now I need a nap.
Yeah, nap. That's exactly what I need right now.
I'll be in my bunk.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go to that shower I set up with,
Yeah.
clean myself off a little bit. Okay, yeah, and
Now, the way jumps work, it's not like instant.
Yeah.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
it's like
We're in
wormhole
cruise.
technology.
Yeah.
So what would generally take like years, probably, for this one, it probably will take a day or two.
Okay.
So it's not super long. There is a journey mechanic, but you don't generally instigate it until it's like a week of travel. So we're not going to use it for this specific journey, but it's coming.
It's coming.
Inspired by our One Ring game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's
That's awesome.
Space
Great.
Journeys.
I
It's
love
very exciting.
journey
Journey.
mechanic.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's very
it was
cool. I'm
really
excited
cool.
about it. So yeah, is there anything anyone would like to do? It's probably going to be, we'll say it's like a 36-hour trip.
Okay. Actually, I think Dave, did you have something?
Well, I have a question, but go ahead.
Oh, okay.
My question was going to be personal directives. Might this be a good time to talk about that
Oh.
since we have some time to spend with each other?
Oh, yeah, very good.
Yeah.
So on your sheets, you have a space for personal directives. Now, we didn't do these. I meant to do this at the top of this show, but I was nervous. So basically, a personal directive is a interaction that you want to have as a character with another crewmate. Has to be a PC crewmate. It can't be an NPC. And it can be any interaction. So if you have a crush on someone, maybe you want to spend alone time with them. If someone went through something hard, maybe you want to check in with them and see if they're okay. If someone has something you want, maybe you want to try and, see if they'll sell it to you. Maybe if, someone makes amazing, food of some type, you can try and bribe them to make it for you. It can be little silly things. It can be something serious. And every session at the end of the thing, it's kind of our end of session move. We just check in and see who actually accomplished theirs. You get some stuff if you did. If not, you can carry it over to the next session, or you can make a new one if you decide, I don't care about that anymore. So, did you already have one, Dave?
I have a thought in mind.
Okay.
having seen what just happened, I think
Now-
I.
I'm going to tell you.
Mhm.
You can play either way, where everyone says what theirs is,
Oh.
or we can play where it's kind of like a little bit of a secret, so you can try and like weasel each other. Now, these are not going to be generally huge things. Like, if there's a captain you disagree with, like having a mutiny is not going to be your personal directive. It's something on a much smaller scale than that. So I'm happy to play either way. I generally am like open, no table secrets, but these are also a little bit fun to see people try and like maneuver their way into like, can I get them to buy me a drink? Like so whichever way. Does anyone have a preference?
Can we hybridize?
Sure.
Like, if that's something that would be fun and we want to kind of keep it close to the chest, we can do that. But,
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
but if it's just something kind of whatever,
Normal.
you're not really scared about letting everybody know about.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Because I mean, the idea of mine is not something that's like super stealthy or
No, yeah.
anything. It's just I think I'm impressed with how well you shined it on past the customs agent. And I think Lawrence wants to come talk to you about your education.
Oh, interesting.
So just to be like, where did you learn to do that? Like, is it just natural? Are you just very good at that by accident? Did you have to go through a year in training on a swamp planet? Like, what what happened?
All right. So let's see how that goes. And then that's going to be, I think, a connect roll. Or there's no roll for connect anyway.
Sure.
I've rewritten that move like 50
I
times.
should reread it then.
Yes.
I'm looking at it right now.
So there are in this game, I know I kind of explained it during our session 0, but while they're reading it, for those of you listening and enjoying at home, there are basic moves. There's 5 basic moves, and then there are what are called crew moves. And those are basically socio-emotional, like interconnected moves between the relationships of the characters themselves. So for connect, when you get personal with a crewmate, state your intent and choose how you feel about initiating the interaction. So if you're not worried about it, don't wager any trust. If you're anxious, wager 1 trust. If you're fretful or worse, wager 2 trust. So if you're like, hey, we passed the ketchup, you're not going to wager any trust. Unless they really like ketchup.
Look, this is important to me. I
yeah.
need my condiments.
If you're like, hey, do you want to like hang out sometime? I think you're pretty. Maybe it's like a little bit more. Maybe it's 1 trust. And if it's like, will you overthrow the government with me? Then maybe that's two trusts. So depending on like how stressed your character is about it, that's what determines how much trust you're wagering or risking, basically, by approaching them and asking them about it.
Cool. Sure.
I don't think I'm very concerned. I think it's more of a fascination, like agents of my people would have to train for years to get good enough to do that because it's just not our way, right? But where how do you do that all the time?
Oh,
Like, with
yes.
people in your own homeworld?
Oh, not everyone.
Oh, just when you need something.
Well, it's the only way I can get anything.
Oh. I thought you had lots of money.
Yes, but money is just part of it.
Oh.
When you're the 17th son, it takes a lot of maneuvering to get anything.
I see.
And working in city administration doesn't make it better.
I like that.
City administration?
No, working outside the boundaries and getting what you want from people without having to threaten.
There is a threat to it. Don't misunderstand.
I'm even more fascinated. I did not catch the threat implied.
Money buys a lot of annoyance. So if I'm well-spoken and pleasant, and people don't do what I say, they know that I have the money to make their lives uncomfortable.
Ah. I like that even more.
It's a learned skill.
But not formally trained. Just
A bit. I did
Oh.
have a tutor and a sibling or two and a very distant parent that needed a big laser light show to get attention.
That's a shame. Were they very far away?
Sometimes.
I never met my parents. We don't really have those.
Can't decide if that's better or worse.
I don't know if I know either.
Fascinating. Well, if you ever want any pointers on how to nicely threaten people, let me know.
That might be interesting. I am here to learn. I have to keep reminding myself.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. So your goal was basically to get information about Road and their history and see if you had something in common a little bit or if you could learn from them. Road, you could decide. Did they reach their intended goal completely, partially, or no?
I mean, that is exactly how he learned to do that, so yeah.
Perfectly. Okay. You get to keep your wagered trust, and you both earn +1 trust and clear condition.
All right.
So this is basically the move for like healing. Since Starscape doesn't have hit points, you mark conditions. This is one of the ways that you can clear conditions and bond with crewmates. So if after a big fight, like checking in with each other or getting mad and yelling at each other, whatever you do emotionally afterwards through these role play things, or how you work through the conditions that you get in other parts of the game.
That's
Nice.
so fun.
It looks like it's also a way to earn XP too.
Yes,
Yes.
absolutely.
Sweet.
Yes. So XP and conditions a lot of times are like are carrots for different things. So even if you say no to something, like if Kai had said no, or if Road had said no, that you didn't get, you'd still get XP from it because you learned something about each other from it. So you might not clear a condition, you might still have those conditions, but you would have grown as a character and gotten XP from that. So even choosing a negative result doesn't mean you get nothing. So that way it's like carrot for good answer, carrot for bad answer.
Yeah, you win either way.
Exactly. A little bit different carrots, but that's how it works.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right. Does anyone else have something they'd like to work on or do?
Yeah. I want to check on Nolvath and make sure that they're okay.
Okay.
Because that was kind of a lot of cards that I kind of put on the table out there, and I have no idea like how they as an individual or as like a culture or a species deal with affection and like physical closeness like that. So I'm gonna after all that, I like walked out, I went to the garage for a little bit where I feel safe. And after I kind of like calm down a little bit, I'm gonna try to find you and see, like just have that conversation.
So you're going to connect with Nolvath.
Yeah.
Okay. So
My personal directive was going to be to ask you a lot of awkward questions about human courtship.
all right.
Can we do those at the same time?
You totally can.
This is so funny.
I'm going to have you actually go first.
Okay.
Because I feel just like from the description of this, like I feel like Jonas is going to be a little bit more like a little hesitant about going up to you. So I'm going to have you actually instigate the interaction, and I'm going to actually have you confront them.
Oh. Okay.
Now confront doesn't have to be angry.
Okay.
You can just be like, no, I have questions about this. I would like to confront you with the awkwardness of what this is. Like you don't have to say it like that, but confront is basically. Connect is when you're trying to like check in or find a mutual thing. You were just looking for information.
Yeah.
So
These are not awkward questions to them. They're just curious.
Yeah.
You're being interrogated, though.
Yeah.
it seems like a little confrontational to you because you're like, okay, this is a lot.
Yeah.
So when you confront a crewmate, choose one thing that you want from them. And it seems like you want information about courtship and rituals.
Yes.
And describe how you initiate the confrontation. You may spend 1 trust per additional outcome you want. So you want the, let's see. So you want them, it seems like you want them to complete a specific task or action, which is like giving you information.
Yeah.
So there you go. If you want any of those other things, you can also spend 1 more trust if you would like. But they don't seem. I don't know if they fit. So
Yeah, I don't think they fit. I think they just are curious.
Mm-hmm.
And like during that interaction before, we're like, file these questions away for later when we're not on camera and can ask Jonas about it. So I think you come looking for them, like come out of your garage, but they're already on their way to you.
Yeah, okay. Are you like camouflaged?
No.
Okay, all right.
They don't always walk around like that.
Sure.
I think it's actually their camouflage reflex is probably doing the mood ring thing.
Oh, sure,
Where you would probably recognize the color pattern as like curious.
Okay, all right.
It's probably one you see a lot.
Sure. Okay. All right. Okay. I step out the door. I'm same thing. I'm kind of like, tidying myself up, just making myself look presentable. And then I'm gonna say my head is down because I'm in thought. And then I look up and I see you. And I'm like, oh, Nolvath.
Ah, Jonas. We were hoping you would be here.
Yeah. What brings you over to this corner of the ship?
Well, we have questions, based on what we saw earlier from your photographs. Can we ask you some questions?
I am so sorry if that
Why are you sorry?
placed you in. I kind of like examine my own. I check my own feelings of that. I say, and just like any kind of pretense fading away, I look at you and I say, no, that I don't know how you or your the rest of your kind feel about things like that. I think maybe I was a little rash, a little hurried in being open about that kind of thing.
Well, the Namilid are very open. We are polyamorous by nature as a hive. So it is not uncommon to share more intimate knowledge with each other. We share all knowledge with each other. It would be difficult to hide.
Well, I suppose that was very fortunate of you. We humans are not necessarily so upfront about our affections.
Ah, you are the only human I have met so far. So this is not a common courtship ritual to have photographs of one another of an intimate nature?
I blush a little bit at that, actually. And I say, no, this is more of a souvenir. I suppose maybe a memory that I will want to come back to when, I don't know if this happens to you, but as we grow older, our memories fade, and we don't necessarily have the capacity to look back on things as clearly as humans don't have the capacity to look at things as clearly as we do early in life. And I don't know. I guess there's going to come a time, maybe sooner than later, I don't know, when I am going to want to look back at my life and reflect. And I don't know how I'm going to feel about this when that time comes, but I do want to find out.
That would be useful if your memory is not complete. Interesting.
Do you feel like you got the information you want?
I think so. They have more questions.
Actually, I'm going to say, like, after I kind of, like, snap out of that sort of introspective moment, I am going to say, now, no, you're right. This is not the typical way. I mean, from my culture, this is not the typical way that people deal with their intimacy, their relationships. But I was only 25% of that relationship.
This is true. Is the percentage usually different?
I suppose it varies. Actually, you know what? In my home world, monogamy was still very much a thing. Kind of a holdover from an old culture. I don't necessarily ascribe to all that, but at the same time, I don't necessarily seek out the opposite either.
It is variable for humans then. Interesting.
You didn't have much of a choice about this, did you? It was just part of what you knew.
Yes?
Well, that's fascinating to me too.
Monogamy would be a difficult thing to achieve for us.
Yeah, no, of course. And that kind of like dawns on me too that like I have no idea like what a hive, I have no concept at all like what a hive mind could possibly be like, what that experience could possibly be like.
Interesting.
But you are all right.
Oh, yes. Yes. We appreciate the check-in, though. That was very kind of you.
I don't know how long we are going to be here. I want to make sure that that at the very least you and I are friends.
Oh, yes. We would consider you a friend, Jonas.
Yeah, same. Um,
We are not disagreeable to the idea of more than friend.
all right. I'm like surprised by that actually, because I like really deep down inside my little, escapades, they're kind of an escape.
Mm-hmm.
And so I turn to you and I say, I am not opposed to that idea. Let's see where our journeys take us.
Yes, there is no rush.
And I think of that, I like need another moment. But what I do, I'm gonna, give you I don't know if if the gesture necessarily means anything to you, but I will give you kind of like a little genteel bow.
Aw.
And then I'm gonna go sit in Trini for a little bit, and I'm actually gonna delete the pictures that I took of that night.
Aww. All right. So the connect and the confront kind of win at the same time, which is fine. So we'll start. Nolvath, do you feel like you got your desired outcome?
Yes,
Information?
definitely. More
Okay.
information about human courtship and how that works.
All right. So you get to pick one off the list
Okay.
there. One of you clears a condition and the other marks XP. You both mark XP. You both clear a condition, or you both earn a trust.
I don't have any conditions and I'm pretty high on trust, so I think I vote both mark XP if that's okay with you.
Yeah.
Okay. You both definitely learned something. And then for your connect, when you were, it felt like you were anxious, so you like wager one.
I
trust, or were
was,
you
yeah,
super
yeah.
fretful.
No, I was anxious.
Okay.
I was anxious.
All right.
So yeah, one trust certainly.
Okay. And then Jonas's intent with Nolvath was to like just check in and make sure that they were all right.
Yeah.
Did they completely, partially, or not meet that goal?
Oh, completely.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
So you get to keep your wager trust.
Okay.
You both earn one trust and clear a condition.
Okay,
Yay.
fantastic. I'm clear of conditions now.
Mm-hmm.
Crushing it.
Awesome. Yeah, it's so exciting to see it all like
It's
working.
happening.
It's happening.
Awkward question time with Nolvath.
Working as design intended. Okay. Sexy times with the hive minds. Okay. Fantastic. And did you have something that you wanted to do, Road? Or are you just chilling this trip? You don't have to.
I think yes.
Okay.
I think it's mostly a question for Jonas.
Okay.
He wants to. I don't want to word this.
Connect or confront? I mean, there's other options.
Yes.
There's nothing.
Trying to figure out how to word this. I've been like sitting here trying to chew on how to word this for like
Yeah.
the whole time I've been sitting here. He wants to try and get a like morality vibe on Jonas, specifically around taking a tree seed.
Ooh.
Because being able to do it or not, honestly, isn't his concern. It's the like, this ship has to stay together. And if I continue to pursue this, is it gonna be a problem?
Mm-hmm. So your choice here is going to be like, is this a conversation where you're trying to, like, hey, I'm really concerned about, like, how would you feel about this? Or is this like a more of an interrogation or a manipulation where you're just
Yeah.
trying to pull the information?
Definitely more a manipulation.
Okay.
He is more into the like honeyed words hiding something underneath. I don't think he knows how to have a really nice conversation, honestly.
All right. So if it's not for their benefit, if it's just for your benefit, then it's like a confront.
Yeah.
So it does, again, confront doesn't mean you have to be yelling at them, but it's for your own personal gain.
Yes, it's definitely for personal gain.
So when you confront a crewmate, choose one thing you want, and it's going to be complete a specific task or action. And go ahead and see how this goes, and you're going to wager 1 trust to do this.
Yes.
Where do you want to find me?
I think he waits a little while after the like high intensity of the jump gate and everything, and like waits for you to have your time with training and all that stuff. And I think he comes to you like wine in hand.
Okay.
Just like 2 cups of wine.
Oh, fantastic.
And I think he's in like slightly dressed down, but for him dressed down is like almost normal people clothes. And I think he finds you like working on your ship or something.
Yeah, you know what? What if I'm actually beginning to refuel? I'm like kind of started that process of refueling the ship finally.
And so like fully in your workshop just shows up with wine.
Okay.
You've been working very hard. I brought you this.
Oh, road. You read my mind. And I will take the wine.
Thirsty ship, thirsty pilot. That's how that works, right?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, usually the pilot's thirstier than the ship, but at this point, we're at about even ground here. Cheers.
Cheers.
And I will link glasses with you.
Mm-hmm.
I will take a generous drink of that wine.
Fabulous. And Ro just takes like a gentleman's sip. So I'm glad you got all these barrels straightened out. This should have you situated for a while, yes?
Yeah, at least a little while. And again, enough for us to, I don't know, get out of a scrape or two.
Good. Wouldn't want you landlocked. This isn't land.
I'm not too worried about myself, really. I just want to be able to keep everybody alive.
Oh, that's a noble pursuit. To that end, just out of curiosity, what's your intention with the tree people? What are you thinking we do with them in that situation?
Well, really, I don't want any blades coming down on our heads.
Of course not.
My intentions, I want to drop them off. Keep our hands on whatever cargo we can. You know, these are tough times after all. The belt gets tighter and tighter every day.
Yes, tight belts. No.
It's like the opposite of what was happening with me and Ingram at this point.
Yep.
That's awesome. If you know, what the hell, if we can get 1 seed, that would be fantastic. I'm sure that we make something out of that. I don't know if we can get all of them, even better. That's more for us to replenish our stores with.
So you think
that's
we
certainly
should
more
sell it?
fuel. That's the fastest return that I can think of. I don't know if we can wait
I'm not
centuries to
interested in waiting. Though whatever they use to make it grow faster, or is that whatever that is.
Yeah, and we kind of make the same gesture.
Yeah.
Like,
And I think that actually softens some of the like personality, like a knife that Road has going on. I'm just
Okay.
like, this is not the first time that they've done the same thing in sync. And I think it kind of catches him off guard. He doesn't really know how to have friends.
and just to let you know, I don't even notice that we make the same
Yeah.
gesture. That's like completely like, you know, it's just something that happens.
That's good to know. I really want to make the best of this leafy situation.
Well, yeah, you and me both. I want to make sure we don't get discovered. But if we can get it, that's the minimum. We got some payment. Anything beyond that is a bonus.
I'm worried about selling it. Which one is faster, selling it or growing it? One is a better long-term investment, though.
Yeah, but I don't know if listen, back there in the control room with that customs officer, I think we got a little bit lucky. I don't know if we can maintain that for the long run if we have something like that in our ship. If it's if you don't mind me saying so, I really wouldn't mind getting this contraband off our hands as quickly as I can, quickly as we can.
So you're proposing, like our good friend Lawrence, to sell it?
I'm proposing that we get as good a bonus as we can as quickly as we can, whether that be through our friend Larry or whether that be through your own charms. I don't think I have very many places that I can turn to with something like this. That is up to all of us, I suppose.
What we hold is a bounty that could last us a very long time, so I just want to be very, very sure that we want to sell it.
I pause for a second, and then I look you square in the eye, and I say, Road, if there is one thing that I have learned about you, it's that when you, let's say, fight for something you want, it is usually worth considering. Let's get these folks off our ship and we'll talk more about how to go once we figure out what we end up with.
We both just want the same thing. Safety.
Yeah, exactly, right? Safety. The main thing in life.
And a tree that could fund us for an unknown amount of time. That's indefinite safety.
You do have a point.
And I don't really feel like finding out who Lawrence wants to sell it to.
I take the rest of the wine that I haven't, taken yet, and I just gulp that all down. And I'll put it down and I'll say, yeah, I don't know about that either.
Well, to be continued then.
Yeah. The wine is gone, but I pull a flask from my hip. I have pockets on my pants. I pull a flask out from my hip. I kind of unscrew it, and I say, "The bonuses."
The bonuses. And as he walks away, I think Rode just totally takes the last of that wine.
Yeah.
Amazing. All right. So with the confront at the end of the scene, did you get your desired outcome?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
In spades.
Perfect. So you get to choose one of those things. One of you clears a condition and the other marks XP. You both mark XP. You both clear a condition, or you both earn a trust.
I'll take some XP.
Okay.
All right.
Perfect. All right. Anyone else want to do any crew moves at this point? All right. So we were going to say that time has been passing. We said it was a 36-hour trip. Did anyone want to, I know you had discovered the thing about the phosphorus. I don't know if you want
Yes.
to take action about that right now or just sit on that. You know it's here, but you have not informed your guests that you have any.
Oh yeah, I'm not telling them that.
Okay.
I think I would tell the crew
Mhm.
that we have what we need to make the tree grow.
You have so much.
But we don't know how to make the tree not grow through the ship.
Yeah.
So I think Nolvath would probably spend some time trying to do some science and calculations about that to see if they could figure out theoretically without introducing the seed to phosphorus.
Run a
some
few simulations.
scenarios.
I'm gonna say that's gonna be really difficult to do unless you're actually going to like take the seeds and like experiment and do some like
Okay.
like scrapings and things
Ugh.
like that of them.
Ugh.
So yeah, because it's not something that like you can like scan a little bit, but this is like a very hypothetical
Yeah.
thing because these seeds have never been like near this thing. So
Okay.
like predicting it without any observations.
There's no
or,
data to
yeah,
base
exactly,
the model on.
Exactly.
Got it. Okay.
Thank you for
Yes.
that. Yeah.
That makes
Good
perfect
job,
sense.
Nolvath.
I know a little bit of science speak sometimes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you're welcome to do that, but I'm
I-
gonna make that like a requirement.
I don't think they're willing to like start chopping the seeds quite yet.
Okay.
If we have the key to unlock the seed's potential, could we not negotiate for a better percent of their total success?
It's definitely something that's on the table.
I mean, a percentage of a planetary GDP sounds like a good return.
They just said it was going to take a very long time for them to grow.
Well, that was before we found out we had the secret ingredient. We have no
Harmless
idea
with the
how.
phosphorus. It could grow alarmingly fast.
Hmm.
This is why I will not plant it in the ship.
Hmm. Well,
I mean, it would still take time to realize a return, but
yes, it sounds more like a retirement plan and less of a lifestyle investment.
Well, I mean,
Retirement
good
plan for all of
retirement-
you.
a good retirement plan
maybe
is
for
always
you.
in the cards. Is always it's always a good hand to have.
It's a good investment. It's going to take time.
it's also a safer option. If we continue to carry around an illicit substance, it increases our chances of running into trouble at every jump.
It's true. We are also investing it in 3 people that I'm not entirely confident they're going to be able to make the dividends.
That's true. And who do we turn to sell illicit biological agents?
I have some people I might be able to reach out to.
I'm open to either way.
I don't want to reach out to them.
The people that I would contact are probably less likely to be that friendly.
I'm inclined to agree.
But might be more profitable.
We'll just put a little pin in that for later. So you're saying growing on the ship is not a good idea
Correct.
at all,
Yes.
ever.
Let us put it this way. Tree, hull,
I
space,
see.
die.
Very well illustrated. Thank you, Nolvath. Oh,
Sorry. That just strikes me as the day that Mr. Date is finally done with everybody's shit. Like one
They've
more meeting
probably
in the
tried
room.
to explain science things to Road before, and it has not gone well.
He understands two things in science, none of them are trees.
Nolvath doesn't know what IKEA directions are, but they're doing the verbal equivalent.
Yeah, it's very good. Maybe we just sell it. I don't want to sell it. It hurts to sell it.
What are you gonna do? Look at it?
No! Grow it not on a ship with through-hull space dye.
Do you have a random planet that we're not aware of?
No. Not the
And then we're
have
back to the,
habitable life. Though there's probably a lot of phosphorus there.
but then we're back to the same problem of time investment.
Yes. At least we have more trustworthy custodians of the investment somewhere else.
Maybe we install a monitor.
You're very capable with those sorts of things.
If we could plant the seed on our planet, the native megafauna would prevent anyone from stealing them. Built-in security system.
To keep everyone away.
Yes.
But how do we go to harvest our profits?
Well, we would go.
Ah,
We have camouflage.
we don't. I'm liking this monitor situation. Like when you have a baby, that's how that works, right?
If there are 3 of them and we insert a representative of our interests,
Like a cow.
no. The cows are able to do math.
The cows are unable to do math. We have tried.
No, wait
Good.
a minute.
I am relieved to hear that, actually.
Yeah, that makes more things feel better.
But I'm sure we could get someone to step in and be the... If they were to be a board of directors of this new planet, there are 3 of them and 1 of us. They still have to work together to all form a consensus on a vote.
You have someone trustworthy in mind.
And if we give them a little something like, say, a few cows that can produce what they need to grow those trees, and perhaps have them sign some sort of binding agreement.
Oh, I'm very good at those.
That's what I thought. This could be the security we need.
For when you're significantly older.
If I get there, yeah.
Fine. We'll send them with all the seeds.
Speaking of which, I don't think any of us checked on our passengers since the jump. I'm gonna go see how they're doing and maybe clean up the mess.
I just want to do one clarification point. Now, Nolvath, you don't know where your planet's located, right?
So,
Okay.
I forgot to go over that. I think we decided in the session 0 that doesn't completely make sense for them because like they still have the hive knowledge. So I think I'm gonna slightly retcon that.
Okay.
To they know where it is. It's just very very far away.
Okay.
Like,
And you have no way of communicating with it.
no way of communicating with it, and like there's not really like a jump gate that's like super close to it because nobody goes there.
Be a long sublight travel.
Yeah. There's we're gonna say there's like 0 jump gates. Like it's in a completely different like quadrant. Like it's like super far away.
Yeah.
So you don't communicate with it. You actually don't know. I like the point where you don't know how long you've been gone.
Yes. They don't know how long they've been gone. So they don't know if anybody's still there. But they do know like coordinates, but not like how to get there easily or quickly at all.
It's basically like you're sent out, and then the only time you return is if you find the biological information, the DNA information that you're looking for, and then head back. Okay, perfect.
Yeah, so you have to know where it is to get back, but
whether it's still there when you get back,
that's the question.
Yeah. Then you have to decide if you find the thing, is it worth going back? If no one's still there, but you got friends and maybe romantic interest. I don't know. Anyway. All right.
Space math.
Yes, exactly. So, sorry. Continue. Okay.
So we give them their phosphorus via cow. Didn't know that cows made phosphorus.
A lot of it.
Road doesn't know science
No.
at all.
I think the only other thing we'd really need to know is what kind of agreements they consider binding. I mean, I can get their name on a piece of paper. That might not mean anything to them.
We have perfectly good blackmail on them.
That is an agreement in itself, isn't it? Bing! Smartest, not the savviest.
Yeah.
We'll tell your parents where you are and what you're doing.
Yeah.
That is a good chip on our stack. I mean, maybe in addition to providing them with some phosphorus, we can say, hey, listen, as long as you agree, we'll even misdirect people.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
But if you go the other way and we start to give them clues, go too far and we tell them what you took.
Precisely.
Carrot, stick.
Like I'm good with this. I'll give you like a nod and a wink. And I'll say, all right, you know what? Yeah, let me go check on him. Maybe soften him up a little bit. I'll let you all decide who wants to make the offer.
Nolvath is like
Knowing,
pointing at
like,
Rose.
yeah, I know, yeah.
When we exit jump space, I can see about a monitor.
One that we can see anywhere, perhaps? Oh, you mean a person?
Yes, someone that would step in our stead and keep an eye on these three.
Is this another multi-rows of teeth kindred of yours?
Absolutely not.
Have
They
you
might
clarified?
be worse, which would be good for us. Because if we want someone to keep an eye on these three and keep them in line, you don't want to send in weakness.
I gather they're frightened of their own shadows.
Indeed. But they haven't learned what to be afraid of yet.
I guess I haven't either. Wonderful.
Wow. All right. Getting to know everybody. All right. All right. So, Jonas, you're heading to their room.
Yeah. I'll go check in on him. How long has it been since we jumped?
We'll say
this
like
point.
there was like gaps, like all your little like interactions didn't go back.
Yeah. Okay.
So
all
we'll
right.
say it's been like 20 hours.
Okay. All right. I bring again like a little rolling tray with some cleaning supplies in case, there was some biological unsettledness that happened.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna say that the doors actually have like a little, like a little doorbell thing, like a sci-fi doorbell
Yeah,
thing.
Bing bong.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
Enter.
Okay, I come in and I say, so, are you all settled? You noticed that we had made the jump. I mean, I made an announcement that we'd made the jump. How did you all find the experience?
It was very strange. There was like a thing in the middle of my body where it felt a little like giggly, and I was laughing a little, and then it got much less pleasant. But luckily, I don't think any of us had eaten too much. But anyway, we won't delve on such topics. We have written our manifesto as requested, though, to share.
Oh
Oh,
no.
all right. That is wonderful.
Yeah.
You certainly didn't waste any time. And I mean, I'm scanning the room, and there's nothing that I need to clean up or anything like that.
No, like,
Okay, all right, all right. They
these are
handled
very
it.
proper people. If like biological things happens, like they are, yeah,
To keep it in.
yeah.
Okay.
They
Uh,
aim for the bowl. It's fine.
I'm gonna say before we get into launching into your beliefs, your core tenets, shall we say, and I would certainly love to hear them. Let me just reassure you, we made the jump fine. Nobody is tracking us.
Oh,
As far as we know, so I know that this little jaunt of yours is not necessarily on the books. I would like to reassure you that we have made it, that we are well on our way off system
excellent.
for now.
Yes.
Not sure. I can't make any promises that our signal won't be traced or anything like that. But don't worry about that now.
You are so brave to take such great risk for such a great cause. They all just like nod and look super impressed.
Sure. And I give him, again, it's like a little nod of the head, like I am happy to serve.
Would you like it?
Oh, yeah. You know what? Here, and I kind of
Yeah,
like.
they've written it, so it's like.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
I see. Can I just like give it a scan?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Tell you what. You hold on to that. I will pour over this. I will pour over this like a beggar supping on their first meal after several days.
Very nice. I think that Road was requesting it to send to the planet to keep us from, like people thinking that you kidnapped us.
Ah, very well. Well, wonderful. We shall certainly make that transmission. Yes. And in the meanwhile, if you need anything, if any other discomforts occur, sometimes folks who are new to jump travel experience various visual phenomena.
Oh,
If you hear anything like that, let me know. We have things that we can do for you.
very good. All right. Thank you so much.
And I will walk away, kind of like do that. Really, the visual phenomena thing was to cover up for somebody who may want to, like
Spy on them.
keep an eye on them. Yeah, exactly.
I love
It's
it.
all jump space, I swear.
Yeah, precisely.
You might
Yeah,
see a weird sparkly ghost. Don't worry about it.
Don't worry.
yeah, exactly. So yeah, that's the cover story.
Hilarious.
And with that, you know what? Actually, I think I am gonna go to my quarters, and I'm gonna, or like, yeah. I'm gonna go to my quarters, and I'm gonna start reading through this.
Okay.
What's it like? Is it legit at all in any way, shape, or form?
I mean, it's an angry letter to their mom and dad, basically.
Okay, all right.
The
all right.
Beverly Hills Manifesto.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, to their parents. And it was basically like, dear roots of our great family tree, I reject our society that you have put together. It does not allow for proper growth of
Yeah.
basically. Yeah.
I love this.
Yeah, I still love
I
that.
get up. I'm gonna walk. I'm gonna find you. I'm gonna seek you out, Lawrence.
Amazing.
And I'm gonna say, so Lawrence, our passengers gave us a little bit of cover. Is there a way you can send this encrypted in a signal that cannot be tracked?
Absolutely.
He's the man for it.
I'm gonna say, you were there on the bridge, so I'm gonna say, if this is traced towards us, our cover may be blown. I trust you will use discretion.
Absolutely.
Excellent.
They will never know.
Terrifying.
Threat.
Just from years of like pilot camaraderie, not really realizing it, I just kind of pat you on the shoulder, like heavily,
No.
not really realizing if I've like pushed a boundary or like punched through a boundary or anything like that, and then I kind of turn and walk off.
No, I think it's just sharp.
Sure. Okay.
Like
all right.
when you go for the pat, like
Yeah.
the shoulder blade is like
Yeah.
it's kind of there.
Yeah.
and very
like,
not
really
padded out.
defined.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So it's probably more like it bothers you a little more than it
Yeah.
bothers
Sure.
Lawrence.
Sure.
Like,
Okay. Yeah.
well,
Yeah.
yes, I will get to this immediately.
Okay. Wonderful. Thank you.
I will make several communications when we emerge from jump.
Excellent. Knew I could rely on you.
Have we proposed our final arrangement with the passengers?
I haven't heard from Road yet. I don't know. I mean, they are. They're much more adept at situations like this. I tend to jump in on things that maybe I shouldn't.
Well, you get results.
Yeah, I suppose you could say that. No, we can certainly check in with Road as to what the timing for this should be, and if there is anything that we might need to do ourselves.
If they agree, then I'm interested to see where this goes.
Indeed.
And if they don't agree, then we will have to decide what happens next.
Hey, Lawrence. We know that we're being chased around, right?
Yeah.
Like, okay. If anything comes out of this, I think it might get us off the hook.
I don't know if it would do that, but it could certainly give us some more breathing room.
All right. Suppose we could all use a little bit of breathing room. Send that at your discretion. I'm going to fix myself another drink. And then I'm going to pull the flask out and I shake it. Drink up the last, 2 drops that are in there. And then saunter off to find some alcohol. Actually, you know what? I'm going to say that the last bottle that I had kind of scavenged from elsewhere in the ship
Oh, God.
is gone, and I need to go scavenge for more somewhere.
Terrifying.
Just
I
find
love
another, find another room and see if I can bust open another crate somewhere.
Okay.
A 700-year-old bottle of whiskey.
Yeah, hey.
I have a ship investigation thing I would also like to
Ooh.
do.
Okay.
So we overheard that there are 7 species and 50
Yeah.
sentient life forms on this ship,
Yes.
and we have counted 5
Four of us,
species
5.
that we know of.
Mhm.
So there are 2 unaccounted for.
Yep.
Sapient
I too
species?
can do basic math.
Wait.
Time to get the microfiber cloth out up on all the cryo tubes.
So wait, this doesn't include the cows, right?
No,
No.
because they
Okay, all right.
noted separately.
Many
Separately,
animals.
sure, okay,
separate-
all right,
And also
all right.
many
Many
animals.
animals.
Not just cows.
Yeah. Yeah, 7 different species, 50 life forms. Very
Yeah.
specific.
Very specific. Yeah, so we're gonna get some science instruments out
Mhm.
and do a little walkabout of the ship and see if we can get some readings on where these 2 other species and, I don't know, 40-some life forms are.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're gonna have you you start. You know where all the cryopods are. You
Yeah.
definitely. Have you have you ever paid attention to them? Really? Have you ever?
I think they probably, initially looked at them and were like, interesting. And, saw that some of them were occupied and were like, oh, interesting. But, haven't bothered to, count or,
Okay.
poke at them in any way.
Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and have you enter. They're in these really long. They're technically hallways, but they're huge, expansive hallways that go really, really high. And you can see and most of them are empty or have been opened or are very clearly that's not a living being anymore.
Yeah.
It's a bunch of dust or bones or
Crypt
whatever.
keeper.
Yeah, sort of things like that. So you've been through them before. So we're gonna have. Are you going with them?
Oh, no, he's
Okay.
off writing a
Oh
contract.
god. Okay. So Nolvath, we're gonna have the scene where you walk in and you've walked through these before, and you kind of do the thing where you look up and there's just hundreds, probably thousands of these pods in each one of these, and they go up probably 2
Yeah.
stories, and
Okay.
they're just stacked, and you're just kind of you kind of cock your head at well, it's gonna take some doing to find the 50
Yeah.
in these thousands of pods, and we're gonna start there when we come back for our
Okay.
next session.
Cool.
So that's gonna be where we end for tonight. Is find 50 in a haystack.
Yeah, just clipboard.
Yeah.
Like,
Here we
let's go.
Awesome. All right. Any last comments or things before we end it?
I think we just see Rode sitting in his ridiculous quarters at a desk, furiously, like, brow furrowed, very serious, angry that he's writing this, but very good at what he's writing. But he is definitely unhappy and, like, has a big glass of wine. The bottle's over here, picks up the bottle of wine instead of the glass and drinks straight out of the bottle, like the whole thing, but he's doing it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. So for our end of session moves, we're going to resolve the personal directives. So I know this is kind of the first time we've used it. So the way it works is if you resolve it, then if you meet your goal, you choose which is appropriate. You can clear condition and mark XP, or you can earn 1 trust. So you get to choose. And then you get to set a new personal directive for the next session. If you didn't meet your goal, you can keep the same one for next time or create a new one and just abandon that one, whichever one is most appropriate for your personal story. So does anyone want to share their personal directive and whether they met it or not? I know we talked and we said them out loud for a lot of us, but maybe some people had like more specific ones. Dave, you said you had,
mine was on the table.
Okay,
Yeah,
perfect. So you get to choose, since you met yours, you can clear condition and mark XP or earn 1 trust.
I should mark XP, but I've never been at the top of the trust meter.
We all have dreams, Dave.
And I'm not doing it today.
Yeah. They've been playing iterations of the game for 3 years, so it's a long running goal. Okay. So set a new personal directive for the next session.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I certainly got mine to just make sure that Nolvath is okay and doing all right.
Perfect.
So I'm gonna mark an XP,
Okay, and
and I will set another personal directive
For next week.
Yeah.
Definitely got mine because I got my answers to whether or not Jonas was going to be mad at me criming.
Yes. Awesome. So
And we made it an even better criming as a group.
very good.
I'm going to take some XP.
Yep, perfect. And clear condition and Nora.
Yes, I got my awkward questions answered very nicely, and some unexpected flirting. So I'm gonna take that experience.
Perfect. And then write down what you'd like for your personal directive for next session.
All right.
Okay. And that is it for tonight. Okay. Thank you for joining us for this session of Outrunners, which is a Starscape actual play. If you liked this is a very, 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 very final beta of this game. As you can tell, there's a couple of tweaks still we're doing. If you'd like to support it, you can go to goldenlassogames.com/Kickstarter. It will be kickstarting in June, but we do have some very cool follower goals. We unlocked last week. We had 300 followers for the pre-launch page. So we unlocked the crew of Serenity and Serenity herself from Firefly as pre-gens that I will be releasing very, very soon, like next week. So you can play in the Firefly universe if you like. I'd like to thank our chat mods for their hard work and all the raiders tonight. It was super fun. Thank you so much, all the people watching. Thank you to our amazing Patreons who keep us ad-free and independent. It's because of you that we are able to play games that we enjoy without worrying about publishing companies or system popularity or selling advertising space. You can join their heroic ranks at happyjacks.org/Patreon. And let's go ahead and go around and reintroduce ourselves. Let's go with Jay this time.
Hi, everybody. I am Jay, and I played Jonas, the, emotionally kind of in a weird place.
Yeah.
Navigating, all of the developments on the ship right now.
Absolutely. Anything you want to...
You know what? Not right now. Yeah, no. Not at this time. We'll save it for next week.
Okay.
Hi, everybody. I'm Kai. I have been Rode Theolus. I'm going to say it right one day. I wrote this name.
Yeah.
Says the person who also has. You can find me on all social media as Estelle of Imladris, where you can follow me making more horrible people that like to commit strange and very specific crimes, usually involving plants. I don't know how this keeps happening. You can find me on Friday. I'm GMing, which I never do on stream, which is super fun. I am GMing a Asian American Pacific Islander Heritage Month one-shot called The Benevolent Association of Portsmouth Square, where we will be using the City of Mist to play in a fantasy version of San Francisco in 1906. Don't worry about the year or the location. It's going to be fine. It won't be fine. And then you can find me on Saturday. Not on Saturday. Oh my gosh. Transplanter has hit its arc finale, so you can just catch up on the VOD on that one. But on Sunday, you can find me on Vault Companions with Fallout Angels and Atoms using the Fallout 2D20 system from Odysseus, where I will be playing a robot. And I love him. And then I'll be back here on Monday. Having a good old time. Can't stop, won't stop.
Hooray! Hi everybody, I'm still Sam. I've been Nolvath this whole time.
Maybe he fits forever.
Maybe it's been forever. Your friendly neighborhood asker of awkward questions while camouflage. You can find me on the internets at Red Pandroid on most of the socials, and back here on Mondays for more alien shenanigans. And also, if you feel so inclined and you're a reader who likes monsters and or romance and things, you might want to check out my good friend, Wink. Her book is called Shadow's Light. It's available on Amazon. The name of the author is Sylvie Hellstaff. It's not for kids. 18 plus only. It's a monster romance. It's very spicy. If you like that sort of thing, go check it out. There's going to be a sequel soon. And if not, don't read it.
All right, Dave, follow that.
Sure. I'm CADave. I'm here on Mondays, and I might be back to Tuesday streaming of good old Dave the Diver, the game that will not die. It's gotten to a point now where I'm like, what else is there in this game? Because it just keeps going. But yeah, I've made my way into glacial waters now, and there's a whole storyline there, and now there's
so big.
And now there's like Iron Chef competitions that are coming to the sushi bar and challenging my chef. And I have to help defend his honor and
Fugu.
Yeah, it's totally like
I
that.
Love him.
It's a wild time. I will not be doing that this Tuesday though because my children have performance stuff in the evening. So maybe Wednesday if I'm feeling really motivated, but maybe not. But you can find me at CA Sith Lord on all of the things, and you'll hear things there when I know what's happening, which is hardly ever.
And hi, I'm Kimi. I run the Happy Jacks Network, and I also run a game company called Golden Lasso Games, which makes this game, hopefully, or will make this game if it funds. So please help it. You can find pretty much everything if you go to goldenlassogirl.carrd.co. There's links to all the things. So go there. It's all in one place. And again, if you want to help support this game, you can go to goldenlassogames.com/Kickstarter. That will redirect to the Kickstarter page. You can follow it now, or if you're listening to this in June, maybe you can go and support it and maybe make it public. Do the thing. And yeah, I think that's everything. Next time, we are going to be playing this again next Monday at 7 p.m.-ish Pacific time.
I'm going to go blackmail some nice folks.
Yeah, it's totally going to be fine.
Definitely going to count frozen things.
Frozen.
Freezer aisle.
Maybe still alive
Hopefully
things.
the not freezer burnt ones.
And cow poop.
Yep.
So, yeah. So you can find us at our actual plays as podcasts, anywhere your favorite podcast app. You can also find us at happyjacks.org/Starscape for all the episodes of this game. And you can watch it on YouTube or later on VOD or any of the things. All right. Have a great day, and we will see you next time.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.